from the block where the bus stop talk never ended. 2 signs on the pole, that's the place I represented. Where the corners raised me, where the neighbors saved me. Now we bring that same grit to your daily HD. Click in, sit in for the crack in the paint. Old heads on the porch, young kids with complaints. We gon' laugh, we gon' build, keep it sharp like armor. New world, same heart. Barefoot and Beaumont. Ha! Welcome to Barefoot and Beaumont. Pull up a seat, you ain't gotta go far. Hit that bell, let it ring like a car alarm. You tuned in now, this the home, this the heart, this the charm. Welcome to Barefoot and Beaumont. From the sign on the pole to your phone screen glow. Every story that we show, yeah, it came from the block. Barefoot and Beaumont. We gon' rock, we gon' rock. We gon' rock, 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 rock. We gon' rock. Stories in the cracks of the sidewalk we step. Every frame that we shoot got respect on deck. From the first little dream on that chipped up curb to the worldwide stream. Now you catch this.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome and welcome back to the channel. This is the Fourth Wall Live. This is the show where I stretch my unsolicited opinion across all things reality television. But we have a special edition of the show happening right now because this is our live edition that is going to be all about the web reality world, right? Now, I couldn't do this by myself because as much as I love the web reality world, I'm just not as tapped in as I used to be. You know what I mean? And with me coming back into this world in a lot of different ways, I wanted to make sure that I came in as correct as possible, right? So I had to invite someone who, if you're in the comments in the web reality world, you know who this person is. And I feel like I'm about to put a face to a name for a lot of you guys, but I'm so excited to do it. I want to welcome to the stage my co-host for the Fourth Wall Live, Standalone. Friend!
What's up?
What's going on? How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm chilling. I'm good. You know me, chilling, minding my business. I'm feeling good. I'm excited. I am newly inspired. I think that I have been having some conversations with myself as well as some others recently that have kind of led me to a new wave of motivation when it comes to this channel and the things that I'm doing and the types of shows that I'm doing. Mm-hmm. So I'm just excited. And you are one of those people who kind of made me most excited to kind of get on this live stream kind of platform. So thank you for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So for the people who don't know, but I'm sure there are plenty of people who do, kind of introduce yourself to the viewers and the people who are going to be watching. For those who don't know who Standalone is or who have not commented with, agreed with, disagreed with, argued with you in the comments, introduce and reintroduce yourself to the people.
My name is Standalone Complex. For those of y'all who are anime fanatics, you know about Ghost in the Shell, Standalone Complex, second gig, so you already know where I'm coming from. I love the web reality space. For me, it's a breath of fresh air to see the queer community finally doing something. So I like to watch across platforms and find out what's going on, see how everybody's living, like what they talking about. And that's just, I'm just here for a viewer perspective. That's it. By the way, because everybody is like, oh, well, on that high school shit. I'm not for that. Okay. Mm-hmm. So yes, I know Oakland. It took how Oakland and I connected. You can't find me on the internet.
Listen, and can't. Bitch, like, y'all gotta realize, like, I moved mountains like Usher to get this lady over here. Like, I had to hunt this woman down in real life across several videos, across several comment sections, like, harassed, borderline. It don't make no sense. Like, well, I mean, it does make sense. It actually makes all the sense in real life. But I was like, you are not an easy woman to track down. Lady, lady.
Long story short, I created a Facebook page just so Juice could get a hold of me. That's it.
And God knows I'm grateful because shit. Whew,
It's still up, but I mean, I only contacted like 3 people that I served with, and that's it. I ain't put nothing else up there except for them 2 pictures that were required. Don't look for
the
me.
fact that the fact that it requires 2 pictures is crazy, but
That is
that's
like
neither here nor there.
it's okay.
Whatever. Anyway, we're going to jump this show off because we have a lot to talk about. We're going to be covering all types of things from shows that are going to be airing, shows that are on the way. All 3 reunions that have happened this week. We're going to be talking about some shows that are actually in the process of airing their seasons right now. We have some personal opinions that we want to give, some reviews. Me more so from a producer's perspective, and Standalone more so from a viewer's perspective. And I just want to dive right in with the shows that are on the way, because first I want to talk about Real Life Reality and their Real Life and music teaser. That was a little bit of a tongue twister there. Real Life and Music and their music teaser.
Mm-hmm.
For their season 3, which is getting ready to actually, their episode 1 has already aired. They aired right before we actually came on. So Real Life and Music, I believe it's season 3. Their first episode has just officially aired. They're live. I want to take a look at one of the teasers that they dropped, and then let's chat about it real quick. Just get a quick reaction for the girls. 1 second.
Season 3, where the music hits, the performances shine, collaborations slay.
Might suck dick for living. Might suck dick for living. You might suck
And the shade is real.
If it's about music, yes, I do want to be a part. But if it's about the foolishness and the shit that is beneath me, I don't want to be a part of it.
Not beneath each other.
I act in the past. This is a new me.
From the Ross thing, and she was giving brick. She wasn't giving what I thought she would be giving, and it pissed me off. Again, you ain't saying shit. You doing a whole lot of this and nothing. I said.
You want a moment?
Again, isn't this what we did 2 weeks ago? Tell me what I said. You can't. Y'all see this? She can't say shit. She's making up shit for no reason. So be mad. If you wanted a storyline that bad, then you got it, babes. You got it. Because I'm reading you in confessionals. I'm reading that lace front. I'm reading all of it.
Well, damn.
I love Dublavay.
I do too, to be honest. Dublavay is hilarious.
He is a trip. He's usually a non-problematic person, so it takes a lot to get him there. You know what I'm saying? But I understand, because Karma is exhausting. She's absolutely
okay.
Dublavay. I got you, baby. I feel you.
So are you familiar with this cast or more of this cast besides Karma and Dublavay specifically? How many people do you know of?
Okay. Lottie B. Moore, Avondale, Chrissy, Ty Valentino. I can't think of his name. It's another dude. I can't think of his name right now. But Bryson B. Money was on there. And there was another young man, and he ended up leaving like during their season 2 reunion. It was crazy, but yeah. Who else? K Dot.
That's the Black Boy George, right?
The Black Boy George. Yeah. I'm trying to
Okay.
think who else stands out to me. There have been some people that have come in and out that just they're not like mainstays that you, for me, that I would recognize automatically. So like when MSD came out, I automatically knew who Dubla Bay was. You know, we all know who Bando and Carl are. Like those are my babies. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but I've seen the show, and I'm just like, she is exhausting, and I feel like he has this habit of casting these women who are exhausting.
I am screaming.
That's across real life and music, real life in Bama, and real life in ATL. It's like, we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll absolutely get there. I think, watching this teaser, it just made me think about the teaser for Real Life in Bama and that huge fight that happened with Manaya and Chastity, and then just how that was like the moment, and then everything else was kind of like sprinkled around it. He has a very specific way of doing his trailers that is interesting. It's not bad for me. It's just interesting for me to see. I'm just hoping that with him dropping a music trailer or a music teaser, that there is as much of balance of drama as there is real life, because at least in this teaser, the drama was sprinkled in at the end of the music, but I haven't watched the other teasers yet, right? So I'm like, is this going to be a show about musicians who are connected through music, or is this a show about a bunch of people?
I don't know. One of the trailers I watched, Karma, she puts her hands on Bando, and I'm like, oh, see, now that's why I drop the line.
Oh my God.
Pushes Bando. Okay. I'm like, see, now you'll be screaming woman, but guess what? Domestic violence goes two ways. Assault and battery goes two ways. You put your hands on a man and he lay your ass out, they're not going to arrest him. They're going to arrest you. So when I saw that, I was like, Lord, but I put in the comments, I'm going to watch solely because of Carl and Bando.
Fair enough. Shout out to both of them. I'm excited to see either one of them on a different show. This is what, the second show that they're on together, right? Okay. So I wonder if their dynamic is any different between the shows. That's going to be something interesting to see for me, because when they were on the scene together, I don't necessarily have much memory of what their dynamic was on the show as co-stars, but I am interested to see if there's any more or less interaction with them on a different show in a context of specifically music. Does that make sense?
Yeah, they had like one little interaction, but it wasn't anything, as far as I'm concerned, that was minor. It really was like a Naruto filler episode. It could have not been on the show, and we could have been okay without it.
I'm screaming. Well, moving on, Chasing Reality has announced the season 3 cast for Chasing LA. And I want to take a look at the cast announcement, because they haven't released a teaser or a trailer yet, but they do have some. They let us know who the players are this season. So let's take a look, and I want to see what your feelings are, because we've talked about this, and
Are we rolling?
Why you always show up when it's over?
Chasing LA, season 3. Take 1.
I need you
From locally underestimated to internationally celebrated, I am Hershey Liqueur Jete.
I took 3 years off, still 2 laps ahead. At this point, all roads lead Treyway.
In a city full of clout chasers, I don't beg for attention. I command you.
Seasons change, but there's still only one official kingpin.
Chasing LA and keeping it alive, it's Devontae Rose. You know the vibes.
You can't wear a crown when you haven't built a kingdom.
I may not always be in the room, but I'm always the topic of conversation.
I didn't come to fit in. I came to stand out.
Don't let the silent charm fool you, honey. If I'm serving tea, it's anything but sweet.
It's impossible to check me because the only checks I care about are the ones I cash.
It's a new day in LA, but I'm still the one calling the shots.
Thoughts?
Oh my God, Andre, I love his skin. He is such a handsome man. My little chocolate drop. King Pain to the period of period, bitch. Yes. I can't wait. I can't wait. King Pain. Oh, Trey Howard. I'm so happy to see him back on the screen because I do like some of his styles. So since he's moved to LA, I'm really interested in seeing what he's been doing. Hershey Liqueur Jete.
Right.
Sends across the board. I love Hershey. The first time I saw Hershey wasn't in drag. And I was like, oh, damn, he cute. And then when Hershey put on drag, I'm like, damn, you this beautiful ass woman. Like, damn. So I don't know the rest of the cast, the new cast members. Loso, he sounds familiar, like he may have been on another show somewhere, but I'm not sure. But I'm interested in seeing what happens, how the dynamic is. And I really want to ask King Pain, like, what are the costs of haircuts in LA right now? Because with $6 gas, I want to know, what are you charging? What, $150? What is it, like $100 for a lineup? I really want to know. I mean, I cut my own ball to the scalp, but I'm just saying, okay, I just really want to know, what is the cost of a cut right now in LA? Okay.
I need to know. Honestly, this cast looks very aesthetically pleasing. I feel like we have a very good looking cast here with the cast of Chasing LA. However, with this brand, I always worry about certain things when it comes to the mixing of dynamics. So seeing another Black and Latin mix cast scares the shit out of me a little bit. Just a little tinch, just a little skosh. I always get worried about that. I wonder, and especially in LA, I wonder what allowances are made for Hispanic people when it comes to the use of let's just say AAVE, if you will. I just it interests me. I wonder what went into the decision to not have another trans woman on the show this season. Because Jayla's gone, Nicole is gone. They didn't bring another woman on.
Yeah, Nicole and Andre didn't get along, and Jayla, she had moved to Vegas, and Alicia from the first season.
Yes.
She had moved to New York, but they were saying that she wanted to come back, whatever. Like, dude, you pulled a knife out on somebody on camera. Yeah. Like, your liability. See you next lifetime. Like, we can't be having that. We can't be having that.
Right. Fair enough. I wonder if that was a deliberate choice or if that was just something that kind of fell out in the casting process. I wonder if they just specifically made a choice to not cast any trans women, or if it was just like none just kind of stepped up to the plate for the season.
Yeah.
That was the one of the things that I noticed specifically when it came to their cast announcement. I am excited to see what they have going on though, because everybody looks good, everybody looks interesting. So I guess I don't have to worry about the look of the show from a superficial lens, I guess. I guess now I just have to worry about what everybody's gonna bring, and hopefully everybody brings something.
Right, because already Andre is a stylist. Trey Howard's a stylist.
Correct.
Are we gonna have any more stylists on here? What is this bag going to contain?
I would have to go here. Let me go to because they have the individuals broken down on the Instagram page. So let me see if there is anything specific about each person on the show. So David, no, it just kind of gives like a headline or a tagline of everybody. So I don't necessarily know what everybody does coming in. And then on top of that is Pretty Boy Rock. Is he white? Or is he like spicy white?
He looks spicy white. Reese said, I hope they don't have taglines. Ooh, well, there you have it, Reese.
It looks, I thought this was taglines. Reese, I thought what they were saying in the introduction was the taglines. I thought that was the reveal. I thought that was the reveal of the tagline. Well, with that being said,
I don't know, but I think it'd be very interesting because going from somebody like William the Baddest to this gentleman, that's a completely different dynamic on how they present themselves.
Right.
And, season 2, Nicole was like really on his appearance and things like that. So I'm just wondering how all this is gonna go, because I mean, honestly, that's LA. That's representation of LA. Black, Latino, white, and Asian. But somebody might be Asian on the cast. That'd be cool. But I'm just interested in seeing, with Andre being the producer,
right,
and cast member. I want to see how he does. I hope he doesn't fall into the pitfalls that people they said like Reese fell into, like, oh, well, you don't know the difference between being a cast member and a producer, yada yada yada. I've never been a producer. I've never been a cast member. I don't be knowing what y'all talking about. That'd be like some behind the scenes stuff. But I'm just interested in seeing how the project came out.
I am too. I'm interested to see what Chandra O'Neal is going to give to the girls this season.
Yes, Chandra. Yeah.
I am ready to see what Chandra O'Neal is about to pump through and give the girls as executive producer, because that is a very big responsibility to step up to on its own. And then coming through as a cast member, I'm sure it's going to be a whole nother level of well, there is a whole nother level of expectation that comes with that, right? So there's a level of personal responsibility as a cast member that comes with that, and then there's a whole level of production value that you kind of are torched with upholding, right? So where are you going to take this franchise to now that it's been gone for what, 2-3 years? Like now that it's coming back, what's gonna happen with it? Especially because we've had a whole nother rebirth of a franchise happen right before that with Atlanta. How you going? You know what I'm saying?
It's
At,
just
at,
not because
there's a
Atlanta.
lot to stack up to.
Yeah, it is because Atlanta. This season, it really helped. It got the channel to 100K subscribers. So it's like, yo, coming out of that season, it was done well. It was done very well. Like that's a lot to live up to. I mean, it's the same platform, but still,
But the producers are different. It's just like Housewives, where they're all on Bravo, but the production companies are different. So you get completely different shows based on who's at the helm. So the way that one person is going to produce their season is not going to be the same as the way that somebody else does, and which is good and sometimes bad in a certain way, because you almost want there to be some sort of through line or some sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Uniformity throughout your franchises, but then you want them all to have their own individual personalities based on where they're set in. So I'm excited to see what they're doing. But yeah, I just wonder what a new head of the household is going to bring to the franchise.
right.
Before we move on to some other shows that I want to talk about before we get to the reviews, I want to talk about Twan Dixon and his show From a Therapist Perspective getting the green light for season 2. Congratulations.
Yes.
But yes, congratulations. Happy to see you back. Let's take a look at the teaser for that, and then let's just get into your thoughts, because I just have a couple things to say.
Okay.
City full of energy, emotions run even deeper. And there's only one person that can do the job.
Season 2 is on the way in Atlanta.
This season, we're giving you a lot more fun.
You done got Big Mama up on this hill.
Shocking surprises.
Yeah, I'm getting a divorce.
Bolder conversations.
The greatest gift you can give yourself is really trying.
And some of your chasing favorites.
Nobody can ever tell me how I feel. And I hope you're ready for the... Yes, I'm me.
So you in Atlanta?
Of course I am.
Season 2 of Twan Dixon, From a Therapist Perspective. Coming soon to Chasing Reality.
Absolutely love that. What are your thoughts, Fran?
I love his energy. I love it. I love it. I do. I love it. His smile is so infectious. I love his energy. I think that, first of all, that is a very needed show, I believe. Not just from the queer space, but from the Black space. Seeing us get, therapy, unpacking that trauma, which not all of it is going to be shown on camera.
Sure.
The fact that people are willing to do therapy, put your pride aside, put what everybody has conditioned you to believe aside. That's part of walking your journey.
Right.
And facing those things that have hurt you. And, I've got my own shit. I've known people who've gone through so much that they've had therapists and they weren't equally yoked. So they ended up doing more damage than good. So I'm hoping that, everyone that he comes in contact with, that he blesses them and that they, are willing to do the work, because therapy is a verb.
Facts.
It's a verb. It takes work. You got to work.
100%.
Okay. You also have to be honest. That's accountability. You have to be honest with yourself, because even though people always want to take themselves out of the driver's seat of their life, you can't. You can't. we have a tendency to unintentionally and intentionally cause our own harm. And we don't know, we don't realize it until we actually sit down and really unpack it.
Facts. I think as someone who has kind of dated therapists, I've dated more therapists than I've dated men. I if I'm perfectly honest, I think that it's interesting to see what?
The fact that you said I've dated more therapists than I've dated men, like,
That's a fact. That is a fact. I have dated
with
more
your
therapists
friend.
than I have dated men. Because like trying to find a good therapist is a hard process. Like
It
trying to
is.
find the right therapist that you align with is hard. That
It
process
is.
is hard to do. And I, like you said, appreciate the willingness of people being open enough to do therapy on TV. You know what I mean? I think that that's something that I would love to do. His show, some other show, whatever the case may be, Ayanla. But I think when I heard that this show announced, it made me think about that episode of therapy that Charlemagne did on TV a few years back. I can't remember what the name of the actual special was, but I wished that he would have turned that into an actual TV series. And it was him sitting with his therapist and actually doing a session of therapy on television. It was so rewarding for me to watch, and I wish that that would have turned into a whole thing of having different celebrities come in and sit with the therapist and do the thing, right? I am excited to see the combination of him engaging in the work of therapy and showcasing the life of a therapist, because I wonder if we're gonna see, because you know how they always say like it like all therapists have therapists. Like, are we gonna see him with his therapist? That would be an interest. Like, that's a session I would love to see.
Yeah. I normally wouldn't say this, but having a background in, as an IO psychologist, I chose that field because I was like, I'm not giving anybody any couch time. Come to find out, I am technically giving people couch time. And with the teams that I've worked with, anytime the stuff that you hear from these interviews, speaking with people, some of that stuff is triggering. You end up with secondary or vicarious trauma, and you got to have somebody to lean on. And so you got to have a team to go to talk about, to unpack that. Like, okay, like this, I need to time out. I can't right now because it's too much. And from season one, he has his own issues like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? But to see him speak to a therapist, I think that would be very interesting.
I think that would be interesting because I know that there are certain things that you can and can't say, and with HIPAA laws and like all of that, and you can't necessarily fully unpack what may or may not be triggering to you when it comes to you conducting therapy and being triggered in your own session. I wonder what that looks like. Like, how does a therapist fully be vulnerable with a therapist?
Well, honestly, it's not the HIPAA laws that you really have to worry about. It's the ethics codes of the American Psychological Association. So, like, you think about medical files, but that's HIPAA. But when it comes to therapy, it's all about the APA. Like, we got to make sure that we uphold certain ethical requirements. Say, like Dr. Phil doing therapy on TV, he had to actually give up his license to do that because it's a violation of the American Psychological Association
Yeah,
Kodak.
thank you for correcting me, child. Cause I don't be knowing who I gotta report to who when they fuck up.
Ah, yeah,
Let me
it's the,
know who I
the
need to
APA.
call and email.
It's the APA. So we got to worry about that. But yeah, I mean, shoot, I'll tell anybody, like, go to therapy. Trust me.
Please.
Like the sucky part about being in the psychological field is that just because I'm talking to you does not mean I'm diagnosing you. God damn it, that is annoying as all hell. I'm not diagnosing you. I'm just telling you what it is. If you feel like I'm diagnosing you, well, then it sounds like you need to go sit on somebody's couch, and it's not mine.
How much of that do you think plays into the stigma of being people of color and being like, if you seek therapy, you're crazy? Like, is that like a general stigma, or do you find that like across the board when it comes to people? I'm trying to
I would
figure
say
out the best way to word that.
well, no, I would say it's a generational thing because you grow up and it's like you don't talk about what goes on in this house.
Absolutely.
You go to therapy, the perception of you going to therapy is you're crazy. You know, they think about like when psychologists were called mentalists, you know what I'm saying? It's like when it comes to psychology, people assume asylum. Not everybody is the Joker, okay? This just not everybody is the Joker, you know.
Screaming.
Seriously. That's not what therapy is. And then also with the Black community, to me, with our voices having been suppressed, we don't talk about much anyway.
Facts.
And that's even in the household. Like as a woman, as an adult, I've schooled younger sisters on stuff that they should have been told. And I told them because I was never told. So when I found out, I'm going to spread the knowledge. I'm going to give you the seeds.
As you should.
So, and it also, it's a pride thing, you know, when it comes to like, I'm an OG, you know, but when it comes to the triple OGs, that's a whole other ball game. You know, they don't want to admit nothing.
Fair enough. That is true.
They don't want to talk about nothing. Like to this day, it's like you still skirting around the issue. You know, parents. Sometimes y'all tend to make things worse. The same, but yeah, it really depends on how you grew up and when you grew up.
I can agree with that for sure. I think that the later we get into the generations, the more destigmatized therapy tends to become. And I think it becomes now I feel like we've kind of reached into a bag in society where people kind of generalize and overpopularize therapy practices and going to seek help. And now everything and now I feel like the pendulum is kind of swung in the opposite direction, where now people are less afraid to go seek help because they're scared of being thought of as crazy, and more so they're using all of the therapy terms and all of the, you know, stereotypical buzzwords as deflections from actually doing the work. And and that's frustrating for me.
I'm like, okay, I'm hearing NPD down to the ground, and I'm like, you clearly never had to take abnormal psychology, because if you took abnormal psychology when I took it, you had to diagnose, okay? And NPD, the characteristics with a lot of personality disorders, they overlap.
Right.
So you can definitely sit there. Of course, your friend may be like, oh my God, girl, you know, he's a narcissist, he got a narcissist personality disorder. Honey, your armchair advice is not what's needed
at all.
He needs to go see a therapist, and they need to determine whether he needs psychotherapy, which includes a regimen of medication plus therapy.
Right, because you sitting
Narcissistic
here
behavior.
diagnosing your homegirl's boyfriend based off of you watching Tamra Judge's husband down to the Real Housewives of Orange County is gonna fuck around and get this girl. Girl,
Yeah, like you can't do that. I mean, what we can say is that another one is delusional behavior. We're going to touch on that some more tonight, but that's another one of the things. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly,
that was smooth. That was smooth, standalone. That was real smooth. I like what you did there, sis. I like what you did there.
Touch on that, but that's something else that people need to go see therapy for. I mean, like, honestly, look at our country. I'm a veteran. I'm a wartime veteran.
Thank you for your service.
You're welcome. All this stuff right now is triggering. But you won't know it because I keep a smile on my face. I have my own coping mechanisms.
Right.
That took a lot of work. That took therapy.
I can imagine. Oh my God, I can imagine. Let's lighten this moment up a little bit and tell everybody out there, if you need therapy, seek therapy. Because I say this all the time on the Casually D podcast. Wellness starts at home.
It does.
So make the right decisions. But can we talk about some shows that have started airing their season, but yet there seems to be a little gap in where they at when it comes to where's the rest of their season? I want to start off with a show that doesn't have a significant gap in time, but I just want to talk. But their airing schedule seems to be so. What are you laughing? I ain't even said nothing yet. Why are you laughing? I ain't even said nothing.
It's coming. It's coming.
I hate you so much. I just can we. I want to talk about this show called. This is such a good name for a show. I want to talk about a show called The Ponk House. And I want to know because they have aired 4 episodes, I believe, 3-4 episodes. Over on the what's the name of the channel? The Bryson Thompson channel.
Bryson Thompson channel.
Is that his name?
Yeah, Bryson Thompson.
Okay, good. Okay, Carol Channing. Got it. Okay, so I down to the Bryson Thompson channel. They done aired 4 episodes of this Ponk House, and I'm trying to figure out where's the rest of it because y'all ain't aired a new episode in 2 weeks, and I'm trying to figure out where's it at because it just started getting good. But since y'all are holding up the show, can y'all hold up just one more week? Because I want to do y'all theme song, right? Because I can't stop laughing. No, for real. Because I feel like y'all have an opportunity to really catch the nostalgia wave, right? And I feel like y'all need me to really seal the deal for y'all and do a version of Brick House for the Ponk House and really set y'all up for next season. Like it's giving very much this a Ponk house. Them faggots fighting, just letting it all hang out. Oh, it's a Ponk house. Just let them fight, get it right. Hair slinging around all night. Yes, it's a Ponk. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, y'all feel that, right? Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? I am so serious. Like, you know what it gives? Like, I want to put like some real old school flavor. Like when Aretha Franklin came in and did the A Different World theme song, but then not the first version, right? The second version when they was walking through the doors and doing all the little nasty interactions with each other. When Debbie Allen took over, that A Different World, right? Back when they put sauce on it, right? That I want to give it that, like that. I know my parents love me. That, like, I want to give it that. Oh, it's a punk house, like that. Yes, like I feel y'all need to give me that. Y'all need to give me that. Since y'all ain't gave me no 5th damn episode, I want to know where the hell y'all need to at least give me the theme song.
I want to know.
Have you watched?
I want to know. No, because when I sent it to you, when I saw the name, I was like, "Oh God, oh."
That was the whole reason I watched. What's the name? I was like, the Ponk House, the Ponk House, the Ponk House.
Yeah, I was like, I know y'all do not do that.
Beyonce.
Like, please. But I do have a question for them. Why are their views dropping? Episode 1 had like over 40,000 views, and like episode 4 is like what, 6.5?
I'm so confused. I was looking at that the other day and I was like, yo. How, like, what happened to the promotion of their first episode, and what and where did it go for episodes 2 through 4? Because y'all first episode literally has almost 50,000 views, and y'all haven't gotten above 15,000 views since then.
Right.
It's like one episode got 7 views, and then another episode got up to 12, and I was like, oh, okay, y'all cranking again. Okay, cool. And then it dropped back down, and I was like, whoa. So I'm like, what's going on with the show?
It drastically dropped because it was like episode 1, 48K. Episode 2, you had like 12,000 or 14,000. Then episode 3, it just kept. It was just like large. The dip. I was like, yo, you're depreciating. Like, I'm not seeing the return on the investment.
That makes me wonder, like, is the show bad, or did y'all just like kind of spend all the promotional budget on the first episode and then thought that, okay, y'all pulled in that 40,000. Okay, cool. Y'all just gonna ride off of that, and then it didn't happen. Like, was it that? Like, what happened? Because I'm like, they like, because now you're getting the view, like, well, mind you, you're getting slightly higher views than the content you were getting views on before you started doing this show, because literally you took 5 months off from your regular channel content of doing, pranks and mukbangs and stuff, and then you came back and start what he was doing pranks and mukbangs down to the Bryson Thompson channel, and then 5 months later you pop up with a whole television program. So I'm thinking, okay, you really took the time to like really, lock in and do this thing. So now I'm left with one, where's the rest of your promotional budget, team efforts, whatever, what have you, that was supposed to, ride this wave? And then where's your next episode? Like, or am I just late in the promotional week? Like do y'all just debut on Friday and I just don't know because it's Thursday? Like, what is going on? Because Standalone sent me this show, and listen, I only watched the last episode to prepare for this episode because I had a lot of other things I was trying to get ready for. But but y'all, one thing I will say, the cold open to that 4th episode was better than a lot of whole season trailers I've seen for a few shows. Them girls is over there. Them Ponks, bitch. Them Ponks right there. Them punks right there getting to it, and I'm here for it. I want to see what in the hell they got. Bryson, with your episode, bruh? You all right?
Well, speaking of getting into it, let's go ahead and talk about another series, Messy Bootz.
These niggas, listen, y'all got me real upset over there down to the Messy Bootz. Down there, Messy Bootz. YLB Lenny, sir, where's the rest of your season? Because let me explain something to y'all. Y'all also put out 4 episodes. And we ain't seen y'all niggas since either. Last thing I know, down to the Messy Bootz, oh boy, whole nose is detached from his face and blood is all over this motherfucking house. Like, is he okay? Is he alive?
This is Messy Bootz ATL that we are talking about, by the way. Like, it was bad. Like, these crash out shows, like, y'all rent the Airbnb to fight, but you gonna get in a boxing ring or octagon.
See, listen.
Let me tell you something. When it comes to fighting, like, okay, yeah, dude got his nose busted because he was dripping on the floor. It was on the floor, it was on the wall, it was on the door. I'm like, from
the window to the wall.
We'll get you an Uber. And Uber, ain't nobody got a car around here? Do we have insurance? All those questions.
Does the nigga have, listen, so many questions. Does the nigga have insurance? Does the show have insurance? What type of Uber is y'all gonna get him with the nigga bleeding all over the shit? Like, is y'all gonna pay to shampoo the Uber seats in the damn, like, what are y'all talking about? An Uber? Call an ambulance. Clearly they ain't got no damn insurance. Since y'all out here calling Ubers to the hospital, are you even gonna take him to the hospital? Are you gonna Uber this nigga to the urgent clinic down the street? Like, what the fuck going on?
I mean,
y'all ain't even got no damn first aid kit. Y'all took the damn dish rag out the fucking kitchen.
Put it on his face and he was bleeding straight through it.
What? No bounty quicker picker up or nowhere around here.
No super absorbency. Nothing.
Oh my God. Is he alive? Is he okay? I know for a goddamn fact, y'all got banned off of Airbnb for this shit. Y'all niggas had to get, it was so much fucking blood. I know you niggas ain't cleaned that shit up.
Like, I literally had to rewatch that scene a couple of times. I was like, wait a minute, hold on.
Right. Ain't enough goddamn vinegar. And CLR.
Bleach. I'm like, the bottom line is that his DNA is in this house right now. Like, for real. Like, if you was to clean it up and still luminol it down, he'd come up under black light.
I don't give a damn. I was just about to say, I don't give a damn what y'all do. Y'all niggas turn that black light on, everybody going to jail. I'm telling you, everybody going to jail in that motherfucker.
Did you see the CEO of the show? He be getting into the fights too. And I'm like, what? Like,
but I mean, he also comes from a crash out show though. Like, he has a history of being on crash out shows. Like, I think he was on, wasn't he on the last season of Game Boys that was airing at the same time that this show started airing? I think him and Sav on this show, Messy Bootz, I think they were on the show together. Like, they're all like all of their, that's all connected. They all connected to each other. So they just circling around cast members. It's very Not That's TV, You know, they be circling cast members from show to show, and then now the girls is going over from this show to the Zeus and all the things.
And then you got the trans girls in the house fighting the boys. And I was like, wait a minute, hold up.
What? Now listen, I just shit.
I'm confused.
Listen, I think Not Us TV is just taking the rules out of everything, because they got motherfuckers down here really fighting. Me and you both oh girl, I don't know who you are. Anyway, I don't understand. Like what are the rules? Because I don't understand why y'all are sitting here renting these houses for these 3-4 days to film these 8 to 10 episodes of content, but y'all got these motherfuckers tearing these people's shit up, fighting, throwing glasses, doing all of this shit, spilling Kool-Aid, fucking getting semen and blood all over the goddamn place. Why the fuck are y'all not outside fighting? Why y'all ain't why do these shows not have a whole boxing ring set up outside for the fades?
I'm just gonna
and y'all just go ahead and round this shit up. Like, go ahead and round these niggas up and let them fight.
Because honestly, to me, that really gives like some scary type shit. Like, it doesn't matter that y'all are in the house, y'all can still catch charges. Guess you didn't know that. But yeah, you can still catch charges. Because it's not in a boxing ring and it's not in an octagon. So you can still catch charges. I mean, that dude, if he made it to the hospital, it's not like the doctor's not going to know that somebody hit that dude in his nose. Especially if they've already been in that house. He's fought multiple times. Like, what's the purpose of the Crash Out show? Because don't nobody want you on their show and this is what you're known for. Because you crash out here, we're hog tying you and we getting you up off my set.
Hog tying is crazy. I just don't. First of all, I don't understand what is the end game for the participants on these shows. But then, like, the benefit of the production companies is easy because you get people love drama. Right, so you get these people to motherfucking fight and child. Somebody gonna watch it. I mean, it's okay, fine, but I'm so confused as to what y'all want to be on every Crash Out show. So when you get off of this Crash Out show, what you gonna go crash out on another Crash Out show? Like, y'all gonna be on every Crash Out show, and then once you be on all the Crash Out shows, then what? Once you done got your ass whipped on every goddamn network on the internet, then what? I need your answers quickly. All right, let's move on. Messy Bootz, I guess y'all still trying to figure that shit out since y'all ain't dropped a new episode in 4 goddamn months. I guess I'm never gonna figure out if the boy is still alive. Did they fix his nose? Why y'all ain't got no goddamn nurse on set? Did you clean the blood out the fucking carpet? Like, y'all need to call the people that cleaned Kim Kardashian's contour off of Khloe's wall when Kourtney slapped the goddamn dog shit out of her down to the Calabasas. That's who y'all gonna need to call to clean this shit up, because I don't know what the fuck going on around here. This is a mess. But Messy Bootz.
Messy Bootz.
Let's get to these reunions, because there were literally 3 reunions of web reality shows in 1 week. We had The Scene ATL, we had Real Life Bama, and then we had Chasing Atlanta season 7.
Part 1.
Thank you, because they're the only ones that we're
gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
Right. Let's start with The Scene ATL, because I just want to talk about these in the order of which they aired. Right. Mm-hmm. So it was The Scene ATL, and then it was Real Life Bama, and then Chasing ATL. Why was this reunion virtual? Was there an announcement about this?
I'm not on the internet.
Is Atlanta on lockdown and I don't know about it? I'm asking a genuine question. Because I just want to know why was the reunion virtual? Why was that necessary? I'm just confused because I feel like it led to a host of other issues for me that made this reunion harder to watch than it should have been.
Mhm.
I feel like had this not been a virtual reunion and there weren't certain elements in place, there could have this reunion probably would have been a lot better and a lot more digestible to watch because I think one outside of the decision for this to be virtual, I want to know when y'all made the decision to do this virtually, right? What went into the preparation for this? Right? Was there like a camera quality test? Was there a microphone test? Did y'all wear mics during this? Well, no, because Bando had on AirPods, and so there wasn't like a mic situation happening. Like it just, I wish there were more preparations put in place because if it's gonna give confessional or if it's gonna give virtual reunion, I wanted it to literally look. You know what I mean? Like, and the only reason I say that is because we've seen virtual reunions happen before, and we've seen all of the actual mainstream virtual reunions fail and why they didn't work. We've seen all the girls sitting all the way up here with the ring light falling in their damn mouth down to the damn shit. Like, we've seen all of this. So, like, I wish, and that's the thing that upsets me, right? Because visually, issue or not with this lady, issue or not, whatever past I have with her is irrelevant.
Housewives, all white, Mimi.
Right, that reunion. My whole thing is, now you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, StreamYard. Like,
it's ghetto.
Yeah.
But one thing I will say, the reason why this visually upset me so much is because whether I have an issue with this lady or not, whether we've had past problems or not, whatever the past may be, whatever. One thing I've always said about JT, the creative director, right, is that when she put her touch on something, when that lady touched something, it's gonna look right, right? Like the way I bragged on this lady about the intro credits for Stylish and how I've always said she's a great creative director. She's good at what she does, blah, 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 blah. When she put her hand on something visually, it's going to look correct, right? The idea that she had for the visuals for the confessionals of the scene with the almost black and white toned green screens, I thought that was sick. And then something happened in the middle, and then they changed over the editing style, and then it ended up being in color, and it was giving like the impact a little bit, and it was very like right here, and it was just, I want to know what happened when it came to this reunion, because it feels like it was last minute and it was things that could have been prevented. So I want to know like what all went into this. What are your first initial thoughts about this reunion? Because I feel like I'm babbling at this point.
There was no need to have two hosts. That was ridiculous to me.
Okay.
I get Josiah has the Scene ATL panel on his channel. But Nikki, she really outshined because it's like she was really more in tune to what was going on. So just have one host. Like, you don't want your host to upstage another one. Like, that could potentially cause conflict. Not saying that they have conflict because I know they're all friends, but it's still like, weird. Like you just want one. You just need one person controlling how the questions are directed, how the questions are being laid out, because we need one person to be able to ask those follow-up questions or those necessary but uncomfortable questions. Like when you're talking about production quality, JT was also filming Chasing Atlanta. Carl was also filming Chasing Atlanta and Real Life and Music at the same time. So did that go into the production quality? That's a question to be asked and answered. Because if y'all are stretching your bandwidth, then don't rush it.
Right. Because that also makes me wonder, like, how much of that went into the editing details that caused some of the episodes to be late at the beginning of the season? What happened with the editing process? Where the confessional started to look different 2-3 episodes into the season? Because it just when it comes to the host, I'll say this. To your point, Nikki did outshine Josiah. And it makes sense to me because, she was his co-host on the panel, right? So the idea of that makes sense, but then the execution of it kind of fell flat because you have two people who I don't feel were as prepared as they could have been for this reunion. And I feel like this is something that I saw, or that I tend to see across the board with a lot of shows, is a lot of reunion hosts only prepare for what they think the fans want to see. Right? And so I see a lot of times where reunion hosts will ask questions about the things that they know are hot button issues on the show, or things that they know that the audience wants to see addressed. But then I rarely see the host prepared to ask follow-up questions. And that bothers me so much because I feel like there was so many things and moments where I feel like the hosts, one of them should have dove deeper into and followed up, but you only had the question to ask what the audience wanted to hear, and then you heard the answer and then you moved on. And it was like, I just feel like there was so many lapses in spreading the spotlight to all of the cast members at once, because I felt like we spent an hour of a 2.5-hour reunion talking about Scotty and Bando, and then touching on everybody else to fill it out to different degrees, because the conversation stretched in length because the host didn't necessarily know how to control the room. Does that make sense?
Again, being tapped in. That's why, and let me use this as an example. TTB, when he hosted the Chasing LA season 2 reunion and Chasing Atlanta season 5 reunion, to me, he was one of the reasons why it was good, because he's in the know. Like, wait a minute, hold up, friend. You said this on a live, or you was over here and you said this. That type of interaction, that's what actually really keeps us as the audience engaged, because they're into the show. Not saying Josiah is not into the show, but it's like they're there. Like wait a minute, hold up. But can we talk about how you weren't casted for Chasing, and then you started doing your show, and then next thing you know, you're on Chasing? Like, how did you juggle that plus Real Life and Music, Carl? How? Because looking at the reunion, you could tell there were glitches. You could see it like in Bando's box, and then like Josiah's box at the top. It was like glitches. And it's like, I don't think Scotty, I understand Carl was like, this is what people talking about when it comes to Scotty and Bando. But that's a 1 or 2 episode type thing for me. Because if you watch Scotty, Scotty's had a crush on Bando forever.
Yeah.
And okay, so what about it? But to have JT literally prying into 2 men who she admitted she ain't know into their business. She is fortunate that Scotty remained cool and Bando remained cool, because you talking about their business, diving deep, trying to deep dive into that, it's avoidant behavior for the shit she had going on with Nice Time. Because you're not talking about that.
And for me, I just didn't understand it, because you're the proprietor of this show. This edit did you no service. And to your point about the glitches on the reunion, I'm under the impression that this reunion was pre-recorded and edited, because what it felt like to me was like there was cuts from subject to subject at certain points, and that's what the glitches were to me. I could be wrong, but for me, I was like, if this reunion was pre-recorded and then edited, it's wild to me how y'all really spent that much time talking about Scotty and Bando again. Like, at the end of the day, they weren't together the entire damn season, and it wasn't until the last episode, if that they actually claimed each other. So what was the point of having this entire conversation all season long?
But Bando made a good point when they showed that clip, when he told her, he was like, you need to focus on producing season 2 of Stylish. Yeah. Well, in other words, you need to mind the business that pays you. Because for me, this is just me personally. When you decide you want to get into my business, that means you want me as a problem. So pick and choose your battles wisely, because I don't owe you a kindness. So if you some random that I don't know and you coming up and asking me about me and mine, I'm going to give you a verbal vivisection and you will never speak to me again. Because that is honestly nobody's business. The stuff, how that stuff kept going throughout the web reality streets, I felt bad for Scotty. It was like, you hearing rumors, you're doing it. I'm like, damn. Can this man fucking live? Can they both live? I don't give a fuck. It's their job. It's their job to figure it out. Not anybody else's. Somebody I don't know can't come up to my boyfriend and say, I just want to make sure you're not going to hurt her. Bitch, who the fuck? We're not friends. You don't even know me to know anything like that. What would hurt me? Well, one thing I will say, Bando, I love you down. Bando, I give him so much credit. I have so much respect for him for saying that, telling Scotty, being forthcoming and saying that mentally, emotionally, I'm not available. I cannot give you what you want. I can't. And honestly, that's refreshing to anybody in a relationship. And it probably attracted Scotty to Bando even more.
I agree with that, because based on whatever explanation they did give of the relationship, which led me to have more questions that I wish were asked during the reunion, there was just so much that, like, for one thing, I wonder does like I wonder if there was any regret on JT's part for the amount of focus she put on Scotty and Bando's relationship when it was very clear throughout the season that Scotty did not consider her the friend that she was riding on doing all of this for, right? Like the friendship that she was riding on doing all of this for, he was not claiming back, and on the contrary, telling you to mind your damn business. So it's like, I wonder if there was any regret about that. Why was there so much concern in general, not just from JT's perspective, but in a general sense, the internet wide, on the show, in a general perspective of why there was so much concern about this relationship when they never even really claimed each other. And then when it comes to the reasons why Bando stepped back from the relationship and asked what was and said that he wasn't there mentally and emotionally, for me, was it mental and emotional, or was something going on? Because it just,
Well,
to me,
Scotty said, you know, that Bando said he had some things going on. He was like, that's Bando's story to tell. And I respect
right.
it as well from Scotty. That's Bando's story to tell. And that's where it is for me. Like, for me, when it comes to people's personal relationships, I don't dig into stuff like that. I get, you know, you on TV and stuff. There's still certain things I don't want to know about your personal relationship. Some things should remain personal. Okay. And I think the fact that Bando was able to come to Scotty and be so vulnerable, first of all, as a man, to be vulnerable, baby, you my dude for that. Bando, you my dude for that. Okay? Because that takes a lot. All right? All right? Scotty, I don't know, but, you know, his heart is probably a little hurt. But when they were out at Bulldogs, they saw each other. They kept it cool. They still talked. And they kissed. They're single men. You better have your ass outside.
I'm screaming. I'm single. I'm definitely not outside, but this ain't about me. I just like it just left me with questions of what did Bando need to have together before he felt comfortable claiming Scotty as a boyfriend when y'all are on an entire show together filming the confusion of your relationship.
But you remember he said, like, you know, the clout thing did bother him. So that was another reason why he did step back.
That's what led me to the questions of, was it mental and emotional? Because for me, it was like, okay, well, and this is not me casting a judgment or me trying to read. This is me like trying to relate and like understand, because it would make more sense for me and the audience. Did you just fall on hard times and some shit go down? And because you're in the midst of the internet and somebody you're now on a show with calling you a clout chaser and all of that, did you not feel comfortable calling him your boyfriend because of the rumors and the narrative that was being formed around you, until you got yourself together to be able to pop your shit, as the kids say, or be able to do what you needed to do once again as a man? Because I understand that perspective. Right? So it's like, was that it? And why don't you feel comfortable just saying that? Because it's like, that's what I mean when I say I wish that there would have been follow-up questions from the host, because I wish that the host would have actually passed that question from Scotty to Bando and say, do you feel comfortable speaking on what you were going through that led to this? Because Scotty wants you to tell your story. Do you feel comfortable telling your story?
I said that Bando has a story to tell. If you watched him before on the way up, he has a story to tell. But again, that's his story to tell at his time. He probably did fall on hard times. I mean, look at the times we're in. Who the hell ain't on hard times?
That's why I said no judgment. Like, yeah, I want to relate. I mean, like I get it.
Like if you're talking about like in Atlanta, a 1-bedroom apartment is like maybe with $2,000. You know, I live in North Carolina. $2,000. Yes. I mean, there's some apartments around Raleigh like that. Don't get me wrong, but they're definitely not worth it. But
Facts.
like shit, when you trying to get your music to pop and you working and then life be life, and that shit is stressful. It's it's that compound shit just be really taking you out. Like, look, to be honest, I ain't got it for I don't it's really not about you. It is about me. I gotta take care of me. I gotta meet my needs first. I can't
Not I gotta put me first, Lucius.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. In order to be successful in life, you do have to be selfish, period.
You do. I agree with that. For me, it just goes back to that conversation that they had towards the end of the reunion of like, where's that line and where's that balance of putting yourself and your life on reality television and what you will and won't show? Because it's like, I think where that gets fucked up is a lot of people show aspects of what they want to show, but they're not willing to tell the whole story of what they're willing to show. So it's like then you try to justify that by keeping things for yourself, but it's like you telling a piece of a story is not keeping things for yourself. It's telling you, it's showing us what you want us to see and just expecting us to be dumb. You know what I mean? So like I wish that people would be even that much more selective of what they do and don't show, because if Scotty didn't want to come on this show and talk about his relationship with Bando, then I wish we could have not talked about the relationship with Bando and they're just and focused on whatever else he had going on. The relationship with the group, like what else was going on with Scotty and Bando that we could have focused on instead of talking about them, because not only was everybody else focused on their relationship, but y'all are also showing this conflicting dynamic of y'all's relationship. Y'all are claiming that y'all aren't together, but then y'all are on camera flirting and doing all of this. So it's like you like it's like, yes, y'all are single and y'all are outside, but yet y'all are downplaying what y'all are in, but yet you don't want it to be the subject of a show, but yet you're filming the complexity of it on a show, but you're not really going into the details of why it's so complex on the show that you're filming about it being complex.
Got it. And then there was also outside stuff like the allegations of Bando cheating. So it's like if you're not with somebody, then it's not cheating.
But but see, that all goes into what I'm saying. Like that would have played easily into Bando's defense. We're not together right now. So one, even if I did fuck old boy in Dallas, what does that have to do with Scotty? We're not together. Which is what their narrative was the entire season. So why that was a whole thing of him cheating when they kept saying they're just friends, the entire season didn't make sense to me at all.
To your question about does JT feel any regret? I recall it. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. Her response to that was to move the story along. Here's my problem. Everyone except Carl has literally said the same thing about her behavior. And anytime she is slapped with the truth, she acts like she's clueless. Even talking about Delon's party. This is this man's party. Yes, she said that. No, I don't expect him to tell me who's on the party list, but somebody should have gave me a heads up. First of all, I don't have to do a damn thing. Nobody has to give you a heads up about anything, especially when you're working. If you're a producer and you see somebody that you do not work with, that you do not rock with, you should be cool because you're not there for them. So why are you even focused on that? A bitch you don't see can never ruffle your feathers.
my whole thing is there's a little bit of contradiction in somebody saying that they don't that they have a problem with being assumed as messy, or they don't necessarily take on the role of being messy. They call it moving the story and doing all of these things. But see, like, where does the line draw on that? Where does the line draw on that? Because to me, there has to be some intention in you moving the story and you trying to get a reaction out of the girls and do all of the things and get the job done, as you've said. Like, there has to be some sort of intention in doing that and in the way that you do that. I feel like you ask questions in a specific way to get a rise out of people because you're trying to move the story, and then also you're allegedly thinking like a producer, right? So for me, why take exception with that or try to defend that when that's literally the whole purpose of you doing it, on top of the fact that that's a reputation that you've been met with your entire time on television. But also, it is, to your point, this lady has a consistent history of creating chaos and then expecting everyone around her to handle her in a way that she deems acceptable, but yet is unwilling or uncognizant of the fact that if she took her own advice, she probably wouldn't end up in a lot of the beefs that she ends up in. Because I've said this before, if JT was more aware, or more, if she cared more about how she started conversations, she probably wouldn't be so upset with how they continue to end for her.
So basically, if she learned how to think before she talked.
Or just treat people how you want to be treated. Like,
Yeah.
where's the line between being messy and being a producer and moving story and being accountable for it? Because for me, if she would just say, "Hey, I'm doing this because this is the show, this is my role on the show, and this is what I'm doing," then I wouldn't have a problem with that. My issue with the way that JT moves is she moves messy, creates drama for herself, and then tries to act like she's the victim when people crank it on her after the fact. Because the thing of the matter is, it like, you create the chaos that you now want to play victim in when somebody returns the serve. It
Because
continues to happen.
even on
Like,
the show, like, not to cut you off, but
no, go
like
for it.
doing all of that stuff at Scotty's book event, like, Scotty, baby, you a good one, because I had to pull her to the side and told her several things about herself that I had her in the fetal position, rocking in a corner. You are not coming around my family with this shit. Okay. And
Right.
if you're going to sit here and, I don't know whether, I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth or anything like that, but if you're going to be like, this is for TV, oh, this ain't really how it is, then I have to refer back to Miss Ariel Barbie Banks O'Hara. Call sheet hoes. Call sheet hoes. Call sheet hoes. We don't need that.
And to your point of calling someone a call sheet hoe, to your point, JT is the one that claims to always be in the streets of Potomac. So, like, Giselle Bryant is the person who you idolize when it comes to reality television, or that you model your character after, the one who is known and proud of being a producer's puppet. Very interesting. It's very
The streets of
interesting.
fake ass bitches. That's what they are, because they don't live in Potomac. A lot of them live in somewhere else in Maryland, or they live in Virginia.
And then on top of that, it's like, it's just, I just don't, for me, because this is gonna bring me to the part of the reunion where JT and Delon got into it, and she was trying to belittle what Delon had contributed to the season by saying bitches ain't done enough, so now they want to crank it on me at the reunion, right? And for me, it's like, well, see, you're a producer on this show, so how much of that is what the cast members had to show, and how much of that was what the producers wanted to show? Because I think a lot of issues that these productions have when it comes to doing these shows is they don't know what type of show they actually want to produce, right?
What's the story?
Y'all, because for me, if and when y'all bring back this specific show for season 2, I need y'all to focus on the friend group only, right? Because you can't say that bitches ain't done enough when y'all ain't shown shit of them doing shit. But then, to Delon's point, half of the damn season was filmed in his damn clinic. So how can you say he ain't? And then on top of that, wasn't Delon the person that was supposed to get you on hormones too? Like help you with the hormones too? But ain't done shit? Okay. But my point for saying all of that is when it comes to ensemble shows in reality television, these shows either come from one of two angles. Excuse me. Y'all either come from a career and character first mentality, and then the group is second, a la a Love and Hip Hop, where all the people are on the show because they do music or they're attached to music, and then they form this group as a byproduct of that. Or the group dynamic is the central character of the show, and everything around that only plays into the group dynamic, like a Summer House, right? So I feel like y'all need to focus. Y'all need to do this show like Summer House. But if you do that, you can't sit here and talk about what people are doing outside of the friend dynamic when, JT, we really didn't see you doing much outside of the goddamn friend dynamic either. We saw one photo shoot with Fauna. Great. We saw the shit with Nice Time. You said you felt like you had no choice but to show that, but you did, and you chose to show it, which is fine. But in the group dynamic that I would love for y'all to show, which is just focusing on the dynamic of the group and the friend group alone, and all we see is anything that has to do with the friend group dynamic, all y'all talk about is each other, you wouldn't have had to show that.
But here's the other thing. You have Delon over here getting his RN. And he has Graves' disease. That's something that I want to navigate. I want to know, like, clear, is your condition the reason why you want to do this? Part of it, because you want to help people. Is that why your clinic offers hormone therapy? Like, how are you coping with it? Like, what is it like for you? Those are things that I want to know. It's rare for men to get Graves' disease.
Right.
From my research on it, it's mostly with women, but still, I want to know more about, if we're learning about you, I want to know about you. You got your RN. Fuck yeah. Them clinicals ain't no joke. Passing that licensing exam. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So if he's not going to be around, at least I know why. He's studying.
Yeah.
He's doing his clinicals. He's got to maintain a B+ average
while running a fucking business. And then on top of that, this goes back to what I was And then on top of that, it goes back to what I was saying about the host having follow-up questions, because this would have been a perfect time to dig into more follow-up questions. Because for me, the question that I would have had for Delon as far as his Graves' disease was concerned is, as a femme presenting gay Black man in the South, right? Appearance is something that is not only pivotal but essential when it comes to the mental health of gay Black men, right? So in that, as somebody who presents androgynously or femme presenting, having Graves' disease and that affecting your physical appearance, how did that affect you? Like, how did that play into the way that, like, were you dealing with that on camera during the filming of the show, and how did that play into how you showed up on camera this season? Because him mentioning that was out of the blue when it came to the course of the filming. That wasn't something that was asked. It was something that was volunteered. You know what I mean? So it's like that goes into the preparation of the host being ready to talk about more on the show than just the hot button moments and more than just the biggest drama of the show, to fill out to guarantee the viewers for the reunion. I wish that they would have taken the opportunity to really shape the entire season up through getting to know these characters through what we did see outside of the biggest drama, because we're going to get to that. Like, we know that that's going to happen. But that also leads me to the production part of this, because
that's what I was thinking. Like, what's the storyboarding?
That, and why was this all put out in one piece? Because if y'all were going to spend even to the order of the way that they covered things in the reunion, I wish that the package with the personal dynamics and the things that they were going through on the show, I wish that happened earlier in the show to humanize them, so that they didn't look like a bunch of bitches once they got to arguing, right? And then on top of that, if this was pre-recorded and edited, why was the piece on Scotty and Bando so goddamn short if by the end of the day they ended up being together anyway? And it didn't matter. Like, it really didn't matter. Like to me, that coverage should have been 3 topics. Why JT was in a business the whole season. Why they didn't openly claim each other all season. How we got to the point that they're together now. That could have been 10 minutes. 10 minutes max. Y'all spent 45. And it was edited that way. To my vantage point, I think it was edited. It looks like it was edited that way, right? It may have been glitches, but it looks like it was cut. So I just
I will say this, at least the cinematography and the editing on theirs was better than real life in Bama.
I will say that I think that this show has a lot of potential. I was in the comments of the reunion and I did say that this casting was right. Carl casted the fuck out this show, and based on why he brought everybody on the show, I felt like he really filled every necessary part of the spectrum when it comes to creating a good cast. I just feel like I wish that they were displayed a little differently, and what was focused on throughout the course of the season was rearranged a little bit. I feel like there should have been more focus on other things, and there's just so much more that could have been talked about when it comes to this group. Looking at the reunion and listening to what he had to say, I do feel like this was a believable friend group. I just want to see it done differently next season. I just feel like they have a good cast. I just feel like they were trying to do the wrong type of show.
I think I really love the fact that Carl was able just to articulate why everyone's role on the show. You don't necessarily get that, you know. And so for me, like I give that brother props. He
was informed.
Into it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There
he
was
informed.
serious thought into it. And I appreciate that. As a viewer, I really do appreciate that.
Right. Yeah. Positives. Y'all got a good cast. I just want y'all to do a different type of show. Because I think y'all are more Summer House and less Love and Hip Hop.
Yeah.
I just think that if y'all did the show differently, y'all would read differently.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Kudos to y'all. Good show, good season. I do feel like going back to before we move on, what I will say is, like I said before, if you bring this show back, shoot this like Summer House, right?
Mm-hmm.
You need to shoot the scene like Summer House. And if and when you do bring back Stylish, because JT has told me behind the scenes that she has the show casted and it was in production or pre-production at some point. They were working on it at some point, and then this happened. I would have to go back and look at an interview that I did with her for a project that I'm working on, where she told that story more in depth. But if you bring back Stylish, or when you bring back Stylish, shoot that like Love and Hip Hop, and shoot that like a show about the careers that inspired this friend group, because that's the show where, you know, you see all of these people who are in a similar industry or in a similar realm together, and that's the reason why they're in each other's spaces. I feel like this group, it doesn't seem like y'all, whether y'all are in the same industry or not, it don't seem like none of y'all cross any paths with each other, and y'all were put together for this show. So just focus on that. And then with Stylish, it's like, okay, build the careers out, humanize them as people, show their growth as characters, do all of that over there, but don't try to mix the two, because then it gets crowded, and then the storytelling gets lost.
That is true.
Now, let's move on, because we got another two reunions to talk about. I want to talk about Real Life in Bama real quick. And you go. I'll let you start. You go ahead and start.
And so I'm just going to read directly from my notes, because across real life and reality, the production quality has not improved over time. And the reunion for Real Life in Bama was just a definite example, was just another example of that. They were literally in a closet. If you watch season one, the season one reunion of Real Life and Philanthropy, that room they were sitting in with them two couches that had them burgundy sheets tossed on them, it was smaller than that. Manaya, she was sitting on the edge of a chair. Trina was sitting in like this little small ass chair, and then this Kwanzaa and that other, they were sitting on that little ass cream colored love seat, and I was like, they just look squished. And then the backdrop, oh my God, you have one wall, the wall behind Kwanzaa, that wall had like stars on it. Like, whose fifth grade elementary class did you pull this from? Like, somebody would got a star of the month. It was gold stars. Then behind the host, the wall, it just looked like wrinkled up construction paper, and it was just pushed on the wall. Then right behind Manaya and Trina, that wallpaper, that shit looked like it was blue and white and it was stapled together. So you had blue and white over here, you had forest green back here, and then you had like black or gray and gold over here. There was no cohesion. It looked, you can tell by how they were sitting, they were in a damn closet. It was small as hell. It was small. And then when you go back, as they showed clips of like the season in the confessionals, you see these black lines running through the frames. Like, are you shooting on 8mm? Like, why is this? Because I'm like, are they marionettes? Like, what is this? And then his storytelling. And this is something that, you know, a lot of reviewers, a lot of, you know, viewers have said about the storytelling. When you're having these conversations, you recording these conversations between people, do not sit there for 20, 30 minutes and give us boredom. This is exactly why the fast forward button is one of the greatest inventions ever made.
Oh, bitch. Let me tell you something. I learned a valuable lesson in watching things in 2x speed this week.
I mean, I was like, oh my God. Oh shit. I was just like, oh my God. Because even watching the trailer of Real Life and Music, it's the same thing. What's wrong with your audio? What's wrong with your editing? Why is your audio, your cinematography, and your editing still not up to par? Why does it always, there's this echo? Why? You got Real Life and Reality, Real Life and Music, Real Life and can we get another name?
I'm screaming. Listen, there's a lot of confusion for me that was happening when it came to the reunion specifically. One thing I will say is the production value matters and the production quality matters. And when it is lacking, it is distracting. Because here's the thing. When it comes to the reunion, the way that it was shot was very distracting because it felt like it was like y'all only had one camera. So y'all could only shoot one side at a time. And the way that it was cut, it was like we could only see half the cast and we couldn't get a wide shot of everybody talking. So it was just like this cut was very interesting. But then on top of that, the set itself, like Standalone said, was just, it made no sense. While we got a tablecloth pattern on one wall, while we got the wrinkled construction paper on the other wall, and then while we got the 5th grade stars on the other wall, it just like there was no cohesion. It made no sense. And then the actual set that y'all were sitting in, it was like this love seat, and then it was just a lot going on. It
was that cream colored love seat Kwanzaa, and that gentleman was sitting on. The host was sitting on the stool. Manaya was sitting on the arm of another chair, and then Trina was sitting in this one chair. Like, there was nothing cohesive about any of that. Even the host, how he dressed, it was nothing cohesive.
And then on top of that, the background music was loud as hell. I just didn't understand why the background music was so loud. I was like, please turn this down because we cannot hear nothing y'all are saying. One thing I will say about the reunion itself, though, was I was immediately worried about what this reunion was actually going to give when 2 of the most prominent story points of the season weren't there. Say what y'all want, but Cedric and Chastity, I won't necessarily say carried the season, but they were 2 of the most important plot points of the season because the biggest altercation of the season happened during Cedric's event, and the other biggest altercation of the season happened with Chastity.
Yeah.
So for me, I didn't understand what we were really going to talk about because most of the season or most of the drama to follow was around them, and the way that these shows are shot, And then Covered is y'all wait for the drama to happen, and then that's what you focus on.
And he's supposed to be coming out with Real Life in Houston. I'm like, dude.
That is the next show.
Like
or that is one of the next shows.
I'm gonna need you to stop, because
for me that plays.
You're doing too much. You're spreading yourself too thin. And what is the flagship?
I agree. That's really what the biggest problem is. I think that he's doing too many shows at one time. And so now that the farther you stretch yourself across these franchises, the less you have to put into them individually. So now, not only are we not getting developed characters and getting developed cast members when it comes to each show, we're not getting thorough storylines. The production value is now continuing to slip. But then also, it's like, why? We can't name, like, you have all of these franchises. Well, technically you have two franchises. You have the Real Life and Profession franchise, which is Real Life and Philanthropy, Real Life and Music, and Real Life and Ballroom, all of that. That's that side of it. And then you have the Real Life and Location franchise, which is Real Life ATL, Real Life in Bama, Real Life in well, actually, hold on right there. Is the show called Real Life Bama, or is it Real Life and Bama? Can we clarify that? Can we clarify that?
Yeah,
because
Real Life and Bama.
Because the show says, the logo says Real Life Bama, but everybody else keeps saying Real Life and Bama. So what we need to figure that part out. That I just
and then and I'm just gonna say this. Like you said, the cinematography makes it hard to watch the season. So because your audio, all that stuff ain't right, I'm not sitting there watching the season. So I can tell you right now, when it comes to Real Life and Music this season, if Carl or Bando are not in the scene, I won't be watching it.
I'm screaming.
And that's just dead ass. Like I like both gentlemen, but you cannot tell me that you're listening to the playback and don't hear how messed up this sounds. That's a lie. And then because of the production, one of the biggest conversations they had was how they define trans. I'm so sick of this conversation.
That was one of the biggest plot points that I wanted covered on this reunion, because if the two people who weren't engaging in two of the biggest plot points, chastity being one of those things when it comes to defining transness, it was one, defining transness and why is that so important, but on both sides of that, because one, there's the identity portion of it, and then there's the also, you have a reality show that has more trans women, or well,
this platform platform tends to have more trans women, because the debate was, you're not trans if you hadn't had surgery, whether breast or bottom surgery.
That was Kwanzaa's perspective, yes.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, that makes sense, because you're transitioning. Trina, she's not transitioning. She's just feminine presenting. She just cross dresses and she looks good. To me, Trina looks fucking good.
That was one thing. That was the other thing that I needed defined categorically on this show. Where but I needed Trina to say it. Like, where does she fall on the gender spectrum? Because when I was watching the show, this is the thing, like, this is, and I didn't get an answer to this on the show from Trina or in this reunion.
Yeah.
The one thing that I needed clarified was where does she fall on the gender spectrum? Because on the show, her story was set up as her being a trans woman. But then there was this moment where she went to visit her mother, fully detransitioned, and was speaking about having children and doing all of this and how she may detransition, and the word detransition was used, to my knowledge, if I'm not mistaken. So for me, it was like, how was that not dived into more? Like, how did we not talk about this more? Because I was like, you like especially when the whole conversation came up of defining transness and the conversation of whether Kwanzaa considered Trina a trans woman or not. They didn't even let her answer the damn question. So we really couldn't get any clarity on really how she felt anyway, because everybody kept talking over her. Like, it just made no sense to me, because I was like, Trina, throughout the course of the show, you show up as Trina.
And she said that's why everybody knows her as Trina. She said it on the reunion. So I was like,
but that scene of you showing up to your mother's house fully detransitioned with your girlfriend broke my heart. It broke my heart. But then I'm like, you have Greg sitting here saying that she's not trans, but I'm like, is she or is she not? Because the way that y'all positioned her on the show was that she was trans, and then like her whole storyline gave I don't know.
Yeah, she gave trans the entire time. I thought she was trans the entire time until I was like, what?
I don't know. The other thing that didn't make sense to me on the reunion was, or even on the show, but going into the reunion, it was questioned about whether Cedric's podcast was real, or whether it was a real storyline or not, or whatever the case may be. There's two parts that I want to dissect on that. One, the actual validity of the podcast being real, and then two, the analysis of someone claiming that they're doing the podcast as an outlet for their depression, and how that conversation being put amongst a group of people when that person is not there, how appropriate that is. Starting with the podcast part, what I have to say about that, why are we questioning a storyline about a podcast and whether it's real or not? Did the podcast come out or did it not? As a podcast producer, did the podcast come out or did it not? That would tell you if the podcast is real. Can I go to Apple Podcasts? Can I go to Spotify and listen to the podcast? Can I go to YouTube and listen to the podcast? Where's the podcast? Did it come out or did it not? Like, that's all we need to know. Where's the pod? Where's the podcast? Is it out or is it not? And the fact that we never got an answer to that is crazy.
See, this is what always trips me out when you have like cast members who complain about being on free shows. They be like, oh, this is a free show. This is a free opportunity for you to market your brand.
Correct.
So you didn't do what you're supposed to do. So you're mad because you didn't do what you're supposed to do. Trey Howard did what he was supposed to do. Look at him.
Correct. Y'all want to sit here and talk about y'all on a free show, and what y'all really have is free advertising, and y'all bitches do nothing with it. Because prime example, I don't have to question whether whether Chef Pablo's podcast is real. I can type in "heating up with Chef Pablo" and see his little 2-3 episodes. I don't have to question whether Troy from it's in Atlanta got a real podcast or not. I can go to his channel and see his podcast. You don't have to question whether I have a real podcast or not. Like, to me, that was crazy. Now, mind you, the part that left me feeling a type of way was Greg bringing up the question of, like, it almost felt at first my interpretation of this question was, do they believe that his depression was real or not? And then I had to go back and watch it again, and I saw that it was said, well, what was it specifically? Whatever. What I will say that I had the problem with was the interpretation of his depression being the motivation for the podcast. It's like, who are you to question somebody doing something as an outlet?
Who are you to question somebody's depression? Because depression shows up in people in so many different ways. And a lot of times people don't realize they're actually depressed. They just know that they're doing something. It's been routine for them.
I just felt like that was kind of irresponsible, bro. To me, I just felt like that was irresponsible.
It is irresponsible. It's disrespectful as hell.
Hey, because I'm just like, especially in the context of you being a trans woman and your transness being formally or still technically a question of your mental health, because in some states, in order to begin hormone replacement therapy, you have to be clinically diagnosed as having body dysmorphia and go through therapy and do all of those things. So, like, as somebody and then you say that as somebody who's been depressed, like, that's wild. I don't know. For me, all of that just felt irresponsible. And I mean, to me, that raises the question of, where's the line between humanity and not liking somebody on a reality television show? Because I get that you don't like Cedric, but like, how low is too low when it comes to beefing with somebody, in your opinion?
That right there is low. I've actually been in a relationship where somebody like threw my depression up in my face, like try to use it as a dagger. But for me, that really doesn't do anything, especially when you're going through the same thing. You're really not doing it. To me, what I see is that I don't think people really don't know what beef is. And that is because I'm an old, like Aunt 40, Lil OE, Carl, and call me Coke 45, baby, okay? Because I'm 45.
Y'all ain't got no OD.
I love it. I love Aunt 40. I love him. I don't think people know what beef is.
Right.
I really don't think people understand what beef is, because beef is somebody who's willing to catch a charge. And that's not what y'all on.
Ever.
Okay? That's what beef is. Beef is, I know everything about you and I'm willing to catch a charge, but you don't know if I'm going to get you or not. You don't know when you're going to get got. And the thing about it is that you don't know if you're going to get got by me.
Hello.
So these little.
Because I'm Buddhist, I'm not waiting on God to get you.
Yeah, like as a Buddhist, I'm with it if it comes my way, and that's just what it is. It's the same thing as me being a martial artist. I'm with it if it comes my way.
Correct.
But
my problem is I have to really draw a thicker line when it comes to what I consider something coming my way. Because a bitch breathe at me the wrong way, that's coming my way. Bitch, you look at me the wrong way. Sometimes if you catch me on the right day, you look at me the wrong way. And I have enough context to understand where that look is coming from.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also, you know.
I'm gonna put the Bronx back in the back pocket right quick. I'm just put it back in the back pocket. But
you know I'm from Vietnam, so
I
wait for a reason to crank it. No shade, but
period. Not down there, not at all.
I wait for a reason, bitch.
Like, Waffle House be open, but you can only get it through drive-through. Okay. Yeah,
that's our fault. Sorry.
I don't know. Some people, my thing, what I see across the web reality space is that you feel comfortable to say what you feel in front of this camera, but if that person turned around and knocked out 4 of your chiclets, oh my God, why'd you do that? I only said this, but you about that, but you've been spewing that you about that life. And you came out your mouth foul to this person. My father told me 2 things. Don't talk shit if you can't back it up. And the other, don't put your hands on somebody unless they put their hands on you. I live by that.
Facts. But that's a consistent thing. Like we just said this when we were talking about the scene. Like people want carte blanche to say whatever it is they want to people under the guise of just being real or just being a friend or just calling it how it is. But then when another person responds to you in kind in that same guise, just because you don't like it, all of a sudden now your pearls are clutched. All of a sudden now you are aghast and agape.
No,
how?
All of a sudden,
how, Sway?
You're aggressive.
Oh, girl, I wish a bitch would. Let me go ahead and say this live right now. For all the shit that I'm getting ready to do that I can't talk about. For anybody watching this, who's getting ready to be a part of anything that I'm getting ready to do that I can't talk about. If any one of you bitches call me aggressive, I'm going to define what aggressive is for you. And I'm telling you that right now. Okay, so sorry, I just had to get that off real quick because stuff like that really pisses me off when people sit here and try to
gaslight the fuck out
they
of you.
blatantly gaslight people, and then once they get what they want, all of a sudden they want to be a victim. You can't be a villain and a victim at the same time.
All I did was ask a question. You asked a question and it got your ass knocked about 5 paces back.
Anyway, can we also talk about quick production thing when it comes to real life reality? Going back to this, something I noticed in this edit that was crazy to me. How is it? And I noticed this on a bunch of different shows, not necessarily in the web reality world, but just in a general sense. Now I've noticed that this is crazy. How the hell did y'all bleep the word fuck, but not bleep the word nigga?
Editing.
Listen, Manaya, I love you down. Because the way you was wearing Chastity ass out down to that parking lot, Darian couldn't even bother.
Oh, yeah. What you talking about that lady wig?
The way she was carrying on about this lady wig was so diabolically funny to me.
It was funny. Ma'am.
It was literally that. It was just like, girl,
ma'am.
Manaya. Not Manaya calling. Manaya calling, bitch. She said, hold on, bitch. Hold on. Answer the phone. Who is it? Answer the phone. I'm just playing. Don't you answer that phone if you don't want me to talk to him.
I'm not. I'm just about to send a text message.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just didn't understand how the hell y'all have selective bleeping. Like, that is ignorant. Like, I get most of the people who you expect to watch this show are gonna be black and don't mind you saying nigga, but most of the people you watch in general that watch this show say fuck at least once a day. So what the hell y'all bleeping fuck for and not nigga?
I don't know. I've been watching the blackening that's been giving me my life, so I've just been stuck on the whole nigga part.
Fair enough.
But one thing is for sure, that fight Manaya got into at that party, her wig got pulled off. I was like, that was just a lot. I was like, that was a lot.
It's something about that scene that tests my limits because God damn. I'm sorry.
Remember your fault.
I ain't do nothing yet. I ain't did nothing yet. But
you was giving yourself kudos the other day. So
I was.
Yes, you was.
What was I giving myself kudos for? What was I giving myself? Well, put a pin in that. But this scene with Manaya getting into this fight down to the Cedric party was a test for me because everything that Manaya did in that scene was so fucking funny to me. The way that lady moves is funny to me. Like, she is just comedy. Like, she is the Electra Abundance of the South for me when it comes to exuberance and hyperbole. That lady want to be Phaedra Parks so bad. They want to be Phaedra Parks so bad. She is hilarious to me, just in general. So the way she stood up on Cedric and said, "You could never gather me. Never. Could never." That lady is so funny. From the way she pushed this boy to the way she tried to snatch away from the friend and then went into the purse, and the way they hustled her ass on over to the door. Bitch, that whole scene was hilarious. But what I don't like, if we're gonna be serious about this, how many shows are we going? In fact, where's the line for me? Because this is also something that I wanted to talk about when it comes to production as well. Excuse me. Where's the line when it comes to you know what? Let's go back a little bit. Because when it comes to the fight, I don't have any blame for Manaya in this situation. Usually Manaya the problem. No shade. Usually that lady be starting shit, popping it. She is the Tamar Braxton of Birmingham. Right? So usually I be like, now, Bernie, you know you're wrong when it comes to Manaya, right? But in this situation, I don't feel like there was nothing wrong with that lady, right? Cedric walked up on her first, stood over her, talking about you gonna gather her. She stood up, did what she had to do. Never gather me, honey. That shit was so cunt. She was like, that was so cunt, no shade.
I was laughing at how she was digging that purse. That is some old lady shit. I was
that
like,
is some old lady shit. The way the lady said,
wouldn't that Mary Poppins hell is this bitch gonna pull out an umbrella, coat rack? The way she just went in that bad boy, I was like,
I wanted that lady to pull out Medea's chainsaw the way she was digging in that goddamn bag. I thought that lady was getting ready to pull that shit out. Mama had her Glock, bitch.
I was like, oh God, just bum rushed up to the door like that. You like, girl,
I thought Mama had her piece. I thought she was getting ready to come up in there and enforce some shit. Okay. I thought she was getting ready to I thought she was gonna let y'all motherfuckers know what time it was, honey. And then to come to find out, it was one of them damn who is it? Is it Christian Louboutin, the one that does the perfume bottle with it that shaped like a heel?
Probably, I don't know.
I can't remember who it is. I'm probably wrong.
There's actually quite a few vendors who will do that.
It's either Christian Louboutin, Christian Lacroix, something like that. I think
Rihanna Rebel Fleur, when it first came out, it was a heel.
Oh, well, she bopped that motherfucker dead upside her shit. Now, I think now what gagged me about this whole fight really don't have shit to do with Mania for real. I think Trina was dead ass wrong for saying Cedric wasn't being a good friend because he didn't go over with the friend that popped off on Mania and got his ass beat and his wig split down to the red roof end, right? I think this really caused a conundrum for me because while I can understand her logic of the friend getting in the fight in defense of Cedric, but my whole thing is, had he listened to Cedric in the first goddamn place, he wouldn't have got his shit cracked open with a goddamn perfume bottle.
And Cedric was actually trying to protect Mania. He was like, I don't want this, and he was trying to separate it.
Correct. So my whole thing is, you trying to pop it off in defense of your friend, and your friend is trying to tell you to calm the fuck down and not to do this shit, but then you get all caught up in the moment because this bitch not done went in her motherfucking purse. This bitch done reached down in her purse.
Honey, she ain't have to reach into it. All she had to do was swing it.
That like, okay. Because as big as that goddamn bag was, it looked like she had all type of shit in that motherfucker. That lady looked like she had Baby D's brick in her purse. That lady looked like she had the Acme anvil from Looney Tunes in her purse.
See, that purse looked heavy.
That lady looked like she had the only taser to ever come out from Phaedra Sparks in her motherfucking purse.
She looked like she had the family Bible, a hand-me-down Bible that was in that purse.
That lady looked like that lady literally looked like
that purse was
she had the jewels of life.
Look,
in her purse.
Pull out a whole medical, like I'm talking about, like a whole medical kit. Like she got some extra pantyhose around that bad boy. It just was so. That purse was big. I was like, she talking about something. I was like,
God damn.
This white person. She like
that lady said.
I was like,
oh. Damn. What is she? That's why I said that lady was finna come out with Medea's chainsaw.
Oh,
was finna come out, and she was finna come out and split the motherfucking seas.
I was screaming. I was like, "You gotta be!" I was like, "That's so."
That lady had Noah's Ark in her purse. That lady had all the animals in her purse. Child.
She that purse looked like one of the purses that you'd actually pack to go to church with. You got all the kids' snacks in there. You gonna sit down.
Snacks, waters, a flask,
coins for the collection plate.
Collection plate, like your You got $1 for each child.
You got rollers sitting up in this bad boy because you had to take a roller out of somebody out
in the car. You took your rollers out in the car.
Okay.
Like you got your slippers in there because your feet gonna start hurting after praise and worship. So you gonna put your little Chinese slippers on made of the mesh from the hair store in your purse that match your outfit.
A bonnet probably in there too.
Got a bonnet in there. So when you get in the car, you can pull your wig off and put your bonnet on. That bag was heavy, bitch. That bag was heavy. But it left me with a lot of confusion because for me, Cedric was in the right because he stood on what was right and he didn't stand on blind loyalty just because that's his friend and his friend jumped in some shit, right? Yeah. So it left me with a question of where's the line between, like, should he have taken that stance publicly? Because people say, whether my friend is right or wrong, I'm gonna stand beside him and then I'll correct him in private. But when we in public, you gonna have my motherfucking back. Where's the line?
No. So first of all, and I think that's another old school thing for me. If I see my friend is getting into it with somebody, yes, now I'm hyper focused on whatever is going on in the room. Mm-hmm. It's a one-on-one situation. As long as I don't see anybody try to hurt my friend, I'm just going to be vigilant in what I do because I'm not going to automatically get up. I will spark off when I need to spark off. And you're not going to see me coming.
I agree with that. I think it's interesting for me because there are certain, like, for me, when it comes to physical shit, that's where the line draws for me. There are certain cases where I'm like, okay, listen, there are certain shit that I'm just not gonna let my friend deal with. Like, whether you wrong or right, there's just certain shit that I'm just, hey, y'all ain't finna I mean, but I'm ignorant like that. But when it comes to physical shit, I don't know, like, because for me, it left me wondering, like, where does that boundary draw at when it comes to that? Like, is it don't let nobody touch your friend, but let them handle their scandal? Is it
I'm not jumping in if nobody's getting jumped. I'm not jumping into one fight. If y'all over there arguing, calling each other a boatload of bitches, go ahead, get it off.
A boatload of bitches. That is so funny.
Just saying. I'm not getting involved. You know, some people, they just want to be in the mix. Like, it's not that necessary.
Right.
And sometimes, like, you as a friend, you got to settle down because you don't know what you're getting into. You start getting in the middle of stuff, and next thing you know, we watching you on court TV.
Okay.
Because you done got in the middle of something that your friend started, and it had escalated to something that it should have never gone. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. No. My record is clean, and I reserve all charges for me and me only.
Facts.
Okay.
Before we close out of Real Life Bama, the last thing I want to mention on this reunion is, why the hell was Greg so ready to get the fuck up out of there?
Because that room was small and hot.
Because the way he cut that motherfucking ending short, it was like, right, y'all, thank you for being here. Real life and reality, peace. Hit it at that motherfucker. Like, did y'all not have that space but for so long? Like, what was going on? Like, why were you rushing to get out that damn closet? Were you claustrophobic? Like, what was going on? Was it hot?
It was hot. Did you not see Kwanzaa in there like this the entire time, fanning herself? I was like, she even got on a sleeveless shirt. I was like, oh, this is just.
It was a lot going on up in there, but listen, and then, you know what? One more thing I want to say. before we close out of here, because one thing I just didn't understand. Why the hell did they bring out Darian's boyfriend? What the fuck they bring that boy out here for? Y'all literally brought this boy out here, introduced him to the people, showed that one clip of the castmates being nosy in their relationship, talking about them hunching. And then he just sat there the rest of the damn reunion and said nothing. Y'all didn't even dive into their relationship at all. After the clip, y'all started talking about Manaya and her motherfucking husband. You know what? Hold on. Let's go back and talk about that too, because I got some notes on Manaya and her motherfucking husband that I wanted to talk to you about. First of all, why the hell did y'all bring this boy out here if y'all weren't gonna talk about, like, what? Like, I'm glad y'all still together. Glad to see y'all still together, but we could have found that out next season. Why was he here?
I mean, I wouldn't brought anybody else out into that closet because wasn't no room.
You trying to call the fire marshal on people? I don't know what the hell that's about.
It wasn't no room. It was no room. It literally
One thing
was no room.
One thing I do want to say though
That should
is
have been a virtual reunion. That should have been a virtual.
that should have been the virtual reunion. No, no
That should have
shit.
been a virtual reunion.
But one thing I will say though, Trina calling out production was cunt. When she said that if that nigga would have brought a good enough story to y'all, y'all would have still aired it and y'all still would have played in that lady face when it comes to domestic violence in her relationship. And Greg said that he wouldn't have because he reached out to him before he went to the blogger. Let me tell you why Trina was right. Trina was right because the only reason you said that you didn't bring that man on the show or interact with her husband trying to slander her was because they were legally married. That pissed me off. Because for me, I wanted to give Greg kudos as the producer for being loyal to his talent when her husband reached out to him to come on camera. But then I had to take it back instantly because basically you said the only reason that you did that was because of her being married. And he literally said that if that was her boyfriend or somebody that she was shacking up with, then he most likely would have done it. But because they were married, now all of a sudden their situation is sacred. So you mean to tell me that you now have a certain level of loyalty or protection over your cast member because she's married to this man? But if that was her boyfriend, you would have let him beat her ass and then brought him on camera? What the fuck is that? I need to know. Because if they weren't married, you basically said you would have snaked her. So where does the loyalty to this cast member come from, who was one of the only returning OGs from your last season, who's been here with you, rocking with you, who you spent all this time with? That loyalty now is predicated on her being married? That's disgusting for me.
You got some things to think about, baby. I'm just letting you.
I need you to think about that, Manaya.
About that, Manaya. You ready?
Because he said that to your face, girl. He said that to your face. Like, if this was her boyfriend or just some nigga she was shacking up with, then it would have been up.
Manaya, you in danger, girl.
That's all.
Chasing Atlanta Part 1. I really don't have too much.
I don't either. I don't really got much to say.
Okay, so let me just
go ahead.
Play this. Ken Dog, baby, please just get to the point. Tony over there about to fall asleep. I was about to fall asleep. I said in the comments, I'm confused. There were a lot of people who were lost. I didn't become clear on what happened or what he was talking about until I watched the Chasing panel and Tramel explained it. Thank you very much, Tramel, and everyone on the Chasing panel. Noel needs to get his baddies chain. Get your baddies fucking chain. That motherfucker came through looking like Lena Horne. He looked damn good. Okay. When he told Nova, he said, "You shaved your beard and I kept my bitch and I still look better than you. You a brick." Ah! Baddies chain. Come get it, bitch. Come fucking get it. He said, "You're mad because I'm a better cross dresser than you."
Chewed me the fuck up. No shade. That chewed me the fuck up. I said, "Oh wow, oh wow."
Woo! Noel,
He ate that up.
baby. I like Noel because he is so funny to me. He is the comedic relief that you needed on Chasing because this season was so very heavy. But baby, he came through, chewed up, spit out, got her, gagged her, said, talk about her activities down at the Red Roof Inn. Ooh.
Where she sell ass at. I said, "Oh, she a tobacco shit. Work. All right."
As Althea said, as a prostitute, how are you going to talk
talking about
another prostitute?
another prostitute. I said, "Girl, y'all is messy. Y'all is bangy." One, I don't really have much for this part one. What I will say, Dominique Morgan was a great choice.
I was summoning the ancestors for her. I was like, Lord Jesus, have mercy. She gonna need the power of the ancestors, dealing with these.
She needed Imani and Ayanla.
Okay, she needed
to come through.
She need Harriet.
That's the freedom.
Yes, she need Harriet.
I thought she did an amazing job, and this is what I mean when I say being prepared for follow-up questions.
Because
this is the shit that I'm talking about.
Because she did it. She was like, "Well, stay right there. Go." I was like, "Yep, control it."
This was the first time, this was the first time in a long time, if ever, that I actually saw someone host a reunion in a way that I would have personally hosted it. I feel like Dominique truly understands what reunions are for. I feel like she understood the assignment. I feel like she is someone who put the balance in being a fan of the show and being tapped in with somebody who is a professional and who is here to do a job and is here to see the bigger picture of the representation of the community. Like, I feel like she was so well-rounded in the way that she hosted this reunion. Like, she was a balance of the mess, calling Quinn a messy femme queen. But yet she was also holding the girls accountable.
Ken doll.
That right. Ken
doll that. He was like, "Excuse me." She said, "It's the truth."
I'm just telling you the truth. I said, "Oh,
yeah, I like you, but
turn it.
Baby, she got you. She got you.
Turn it, sis." There was a full out balance, and I really appreciated that. To me, she was giving the Nina Parker of fucking web reality. Like, she was holding it down. And I think that in general, this was a very civil part one. This was a very civil part one. It only got crunk for real between Noel and Nova. And I was like, okay, cute. Da 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 da. You know, y'all sitting here having the conversations, talking the shit, getting to the things, wrapping it up. It just felt grown. And I appreciated that. I don't know how many parts this is gonna be. I can imagine two, but it just felt like this was a great way to start wrapping up this season. I hope that y'all bring Dominique Morgan back every season. Make her the Andy Cohen of fucking Chasing Reality and just have her host all the damn reunions. At this point. Because she needs to go around to all these franchises, because all these franchises have a lot of the similar ass problems. Like all of these franchises are predominantly people of color. All of these people are queer. All of these people, well, with the exception of Althea, all of these people are on this spectrum, but yet there's so much racism, colorism, transphobia, all up and through the bitch. And the fact that we have not had a reunion host come and address the actual problematic stances that are being allowed on this show. I hope that Dominique also calls this shit out being put on TV as well. Like, to me, that's kind of what I was getting ready to say earlier. Where's the line between showing the reality of the interpersonal dynamics of the queer community while also upholding a standard of what is right and wrong within the community?
You know what? That goes into my Virgo vantage point.
Okay, cool. So we gon' so then hold your answer to that. Hold your answer to that, because I really, it's really a lot for me. Like, as much as I'm somebody that gets to the shit, and I like drama and mess just as much as anybody else, but why does a lot of web reality shows have to hinge their mess on being problematic? That's the issue that I have. That was pretty much it for Chasing Reality, though. That was all I had for Chasing Atlanta's reunion. Dominique slayed it. That was
She
it.
did. She did.
One thing I didn't agree with, though, if I have to say anything like truly negative or just controversial, I guess, I hated Kendall's outfit.
Yeah, I did. I like his hair, his nails, and the top. The pants and the shoes, no. I wish he would have wore like a bodycon skirt that had like a V cut in the front and maybe like an open toe shoe.
Yeah.
But that hair was laid. That hair was
The hair was laid boots, though.
Yeah,
I will say that. I just wish it was the whole outfit was restyled differently. That wasn't it for me. Everybody else I pretty much loved. I think there would have been changes I probably would have made to everybody's outfit, with the exception of Q. Q's probably the only person's outfit I wouldn't have changed at all.
I love the back of that jacket. I need that.
Sickening.
It was so sexy. And as a woman, to
And Tony
have
looked amazing too.
tailor fitted, something like that, I love it. I loved it. Everybody, Tony, she looked like she was she's in charge of the girls. Alfie was
Money.
sitting there like she was her bottom dollar bitch.
She
Noel
looked
was sitting
amazing.
over there like he was part of the girls. Tramel was over there looking sexy with his dreads and his red suit on. And then he had Carl at the end was like, bitch, I'm throwing on white. Here's my little bit of red. Okay.
Banji.
Right. All right. I love it. I love it. Quentin, slay. Slay.
Absolutely.
Sammy, I forgot Sammy was there. I liked the corset piece, the gold corset piece, but he looked really good. He looked really handsome. I really liked it.
I appreciated it. Shout out to y'all. Y'all be dressing down to the A. Y'all put y'all pieces on. Good for y'all. That's all we have when it comes to the reunions for this week. Good for y'all. I think Chasing Atlanta is the only one that's going to have a part 2 to their reunion, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll be back to cover that next week. When we move on into the shows that are currently airing, there's a couple shows right now that are on that are in the midst of airing their season. One being My Lifestyle on K Visuals TV, and then the other one is GStatus ATL Evolution, and they're airing either their first season of Evolution or their third season of GStatus ATL. I'm not exactly sure which, but we'll get to that in a second. What are your thoughts on My Lifestyle?
I haven't watched it yet. I will
Okay.
check it out. I will, you send it to me. I will check it out. I haven't seen it yet. Um, I'm going in with no expectations.
Okay, fair enough. I'll leave y'all with this. When it comes to My Lifestyle, um, this entire show, from what I've seen, and I've only watched this last episode, but the entire episode illustrated my point. Um, this show is a representation of the fourth wall going wrong. Breaking the fourth wall goes wrong on this show. Um, because everything about this show is so hyperbolic and it's a big caricature of reality television. And the people on this show are too busy making a show and trying to do reality television that we can't actually follow anything and we can't actually get anything out of their real lives because they're so busy trying to create a show and navigate being on reality television that there's nothing of them actually being people. There's nothing of them actually doing anything. There's nothing of them actually like it's all so much because this show like every single scene on the show, every single conversation on the show was about being on the show.
So you're telling me I didn't miss anything? Okay.
You didn't miss shit. No.
All right.
And it's frustrating because y'all like it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Well, that's how
Why
I felt.
everybody is so mad.
I mean, that's how I felt when I watched GStatus Evolution. It was like, okay, I see KL talking about, his deal with Shane. You got Barry on there. You got this trans girl on there. I was just like, this whole shit, like Barry and the trans girl end up getting into it, but it does not connect as a show. Like, I mean, for KL, when he was talking about his deal with Sheen, like, to me, that should have been like a KL special outside of that.
Well, before we move on to GStatus real quick, save that, hold that right there. I just want to say, out of this whole episode of My Lifestyle, and I don't know if he gets this all the time or not, but I have to say this. Did you watch the show Bring It?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a cast member on My Lifestyle. His name is Zaquan, I think his name is. He looks exactly like Sanjay. No, like I have proof. This is Zaquan, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is Sanjay. Zaquan, Sanjay. Do you see what I'm saying? Twins. I don't know how many times y'all get that, but good for y'all. Shout out to Sanjay. Shout out to you. Moving on to GStatus, I get what you mean. Because I don't understand what this show is about. I don't understand what this show is supposed to be. Is this show about a friend group, or is this about the people who are surrounding KL making his clothing line work?
Right. That's what it just that's
like, are we watching an ensemble show, or are we watching Vanderpump Rules? Is this Candy in the Gang? Is this like I don't necessarily understand how this show is being put together. But one thing that did kind of pique my interest and make me kind of go back a little bit. there was something that was said at the end of this last episode where KO was having a conversation with Barry, if I'm not mistaken, and he was saying so and so and so and so, and then that's why I decided to cancel GStatus ATL Hustle. And I was like, wait a fucking minute. But we're on GStatus AT. What the fuck is going on here?
Are you
Right?
talking about Black stealing the money for that trip?
I don't necessarily know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe I would have to go back and watch the episode again because I thought that this
Very-
all had to do with that damn fight at the beginning of the damn show, which with Sherrod and them down the Bulldogs. But it did kind of lead me down a rabbit hole to figure out how we got here, though.
So them showing the fights, I thought it was just like an introduction to Barry. And yes, Barry, you drugged the fuck out of Sherrod. I mean, you drugged that boy. Because what happens is that the other guy that was part of that fight, he pressed charges. And I guess KO, he put out a warrant for KL's arrest, but it didn't go anywhere because the other dude started it. So that was pretty much the end of that, you know. And then other than that, he just really talked about like people knowing him for, you know, getting into fights, and you know, this is why he gets into fights. You know, he's sensitive about his kids, and he showed two of his little boys, and I was just like, they are just so adorable. But the cohesion of the show, I don't know where it's going. It's like, are we focused on KL's brand as far as a designer and everyone being a model fitting into that? Like, what's really going on? So it's like confusing to me.
Yeah, it was a lot for me. Watching that scene and him talking about the cancellation of GStatus ATL Hustle did make me go back though, because I'm trying to figure out and understand how we got to this point, how we got to Evolution, and why it's not Hustle anymore. It's GStatus ATL Evolution. So to kind of get an understanding, and I'm gonna have to rewatch this again for more context, and then we're gonna talk more about this next week. There's a 2-part limited series called GStatus is Dead on the Perfect Stream channel that basically covers the entire history of the GStatus franchise, how it started and how we got up to this point of him canceling the show and then rebooting it with these other people. The reason I'm going to have to rewatch it again is because I'm hoping that there's an explanation of why this show is shot like this and why we see the show that we see in front of us, because it has not, like, this new show that he's doing, the Evolution show, literally has nothing to do with anything GStatus ATL Hustle. None of the people on it are there. So I'm like,
new name?
Why did we not get a new name?
New show title, yeah.
Why did we not get a new name? Why did we not get a new show title? Why? Like, because it's a completely different show. Or if you're gonna keep it under the same brand or keep it under the same name, why was the show not more focused around you rebuilding the GStatus brand? Because if this was going to be a show about KL and Perfect Population, then why was it not called Perfect Population?
That's a question for KL to answer.
Well, he don't want to do an interview with me. Okay. I've asked for other things, and anyway, I'll leave that alone. All I will say is that I'm gonna try to watch these episodes again to see if there's something that I'm missing. But I'm glad I'm not the only one that is thoroughly confused by what the hell I just watched on this show.
No, you're not. You're
okay.
Not. I promise you.
Do you have anything else?
No, I do not.
Okay, because I don't have a goddamn thing to say about the story for real because I don't know what the hell is going on.
Yeah, that's my point.
Right.
That
Speaking of point, we have come to my favorite part of this show. We have just 2 more parts to holler about before we close out of here. And we are both Virgos and we are both bald-headed and appreciate bald-headed hoe shit. So my 2 favorite segments of the show have finally come. The Virgo Vantage Point, where we are going to take a moment or an observation from any of the shows that we've covered tonight, any of the shows in the web reality space, and just kind of dive a little bit too deep into it because Virgos are known to be overly analytical, right? We're known to just take an inch and turn it into 9, you know? So I want to start with you because you are literally the reason why I'm here doing all of this. What's your Virgo vantage point for this episode?
Okay, so this I'm actually going to read this directly from my notes because it's something that I noticed across the queer web reality space. So this isn't targeting just one series or another. It's across the board. So I'm going to go ahead and get straight to it. The problem isn't identity. It's your behavior. Okay. What I'm seeing across the queer community, especially in these web reality shows, is too much internal conflict that doesn't serve anybody. People across the spectrum, trans women, cis women, gay men, going at each other constantly. Not real dialogue, just disrespect, ego, and noise. And that matters. Matters. Because when the brand becomes tearing each other down, when reads replace substance and insecurity shows up as criticism, it doesn't say individual. It shapes perception of the whole community. I think Dominique touched on that last night.
Yeah.
Okay. She did. That's not outside pressure. That's internal. There's a difference between expression and dysfunction, and some of what's being normalized right now is dysfunction. You don't have to like everybody, but dragging people and gaslighting and constant negativity, that's not empowerment. It weakens the space. If the goal is visibility and respect, then accountability has to come with it, because some of this isn't helping the community, it's hurting it.
I completely agree. And what's interesting is my Virgo vantage point kind of ties in with yours a little bit. And mine is speaking to, and I'll just kind of read and riff off of mine too. Mine is, where is the balance between showing the reality of the dynamics of queer interactions and creating a standard of what is right and wrong in this community, right? What I notice is that on cis-centered shows, meaning cisgendered focused reality television, they embrace the bullshit and they embrace mess. They like drama just as much as any other reality platform, but they draw hard lines on certain things. They don't necessarily draw all the right hard lines, but they do draw hard lines on things. And for me, what I notice when it comes to the web reality space is that there is a no holds bar approach to standards when it comes to the way people are allowed to interact with each other. It just, what is just off limits when it comes to this space, right? Because we have from cheating to domestic violence to racism to transphobia to colorism to status shaming. And on and on and on. It seems like across the board in the web reality space, the most problematic of behaviors seem to be consistently passed off as just shade, or when you trying to read somebody, when you in an argument with somebody, that's just what you do. You're trying to cut that person. But then at some point, it's like what that becomes the entire personality arc of people on these web reality shows, and they try to be that person across the board. And where does the line draw? When is enough enough?
When somebody actually gets laid out, and that's the truth. Because honestly, and I'm gonna take it back to Chasing season 7, episode 11. Q, you ran around there talking all that jazz. I don't know where you from, honey, but we don't take off our boots in the Bronx. We keep our boots on to stomp a mud hole in a motherfucker's ass. So to take off, to pop your shit and then take off a boot and then throw it at somebody and then hit somebody else, then turn around and throw a pillow at Carl, that's some weak ass shit. And then for Carl to reach around, tap your reset button like he was hitting the reset button on a Nintendo, and all of a sudden, all my life I had to fight. I'm going through this, I'm going through that, and you in tears. Carl, baby, you must got some heavy hands, honey. You popped that
blew that cartridge.
And that nigga got right. Because
that motherfucker said,
yeah, because he was up in Ondario's face, and you know, Ondario, he like a 6-foot baby giraffe. He was like, I was like, okay, Ondario did a military pivot. It's time to go. Yeah, Ondario.
About phase, hit it.
Walk away. Because even when he was talking to Alfie on the phone, he was like, what did you say? All of that stuff, Carl, pop, reset. You know, I got a lot of stuff going on. You start talking about jail, you start crying. But you was ready to fight.
Fight. Gross. I don't know.
Smart talking, you got shut down. That's weak. That's some sucker MC shit.
Facts. And for me, I'm like, who is y'all? What? I just don't.
Y'all like to fight. Y'all like putting your hands on each other. Y'all want to know how you stop somebody when somebody literally gets knocked the fuck out. Because there's only but so much that somebody is going to take. You don't know what somebody's limit is. You don't know what somebody's going through. That one thing you say to somebody, you feel like, oh, because you're trans, you're a woman, you're this, you're that, or whatever, you are protected. No, you are not. When you decide you want to be disrespectful, people are equal opportunists, ass whoopers.
Did it? Ooh. Hey, say that. Clock it right now. Say that right goddamn motherfucking now.
I do not. I personally, I don't play that. I don't deal with people who like really engage in that Banji type behavior, because that's not what I'm on, and I have shit to lose, unlike some people who clearly don't care if they lose their shit.
Correct. I agree with that.
So that right there, that's how that stops. But also you got to realize, even though these are small, these are independent shows, you still have legal requirements. You know that? I'm just saying, you're still a company, and your company can still get sued. Just to let you know, you still have to follow the labor laws. You know, the Civil Rights Act of 1964 as amended, it's still a thing. Yeah. Figure it the fuck out
quickly. Because y'all got everything from trans women being jumped on camera to people talking about people being deported to motherfuckers to y'all literally showing minors drinking on camera. It's just a lot. Y'all got a lot going on in these web.
I mean, to people literally bleeding completely out, like pool. That was a pool.
You bled out.
He bled out. Remember, old boy?
Yes. Gay boys gushing waterfalls.
I'm saying.
Speaking of bald headed hoe shit, what you got? Because our bald headed hoe shit segment is where we take. I want to put a 60-second timer on this, but I want to just let you just kind of run free with this. But this is the moment in the show where we just kind of take a second to really just pop it unabashedly and just really say what the fuck it is about some shit without any filter, without any drawback, without any holds bar, without any boundary, because the shit needs to be said and somebody ain't gonna say it, or y'all cut it out when it was said. So yeah, stand alone.
Okay. So my bald-headed hoe shit is for JT. Last night, she said that she did not feel that the public had her back with that whole life nice time situation. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Okay? Because I was there at the time, and I'm going to put it out there, and y'all can go look that shit up. At the time, I was going by the name of Savage Virgo. I got up on TTB's live when TTB had Nice Time and JT up there. And my first question to her was, are you okay? Rico Cassadine, because I said, summon him. He came up there. We all got into it. His voice, he started losing his voice. JT was like, yeah, you should be a brand ambassador for Halls. So don't sit up here and say that nobody was taking your side or nobody believed you, because people in the comments did believe you. They were saying the same shit that everybody else was saying. Like, this is a fucking problem. This dude has a reputation. Bryson B. Money had already put it out there. So you saying that is just absolute bullshit. Now, what I've learned is that people who consistently profess to not be something tend to demonstrate that they're more of the thing that they claim not to be. So when you say that you a boss, yeah, I'm going to say you a boss because you a bitch on some bullshit. I didn't like nothing about that reunion last night. You brushing your wig, you all up in these people's business. Every single one of these people, you said you the queen of accountability. You did not take responsibility for shit. You turned DeLon's birthday party into something about you. You made Scotty and Bando's relationship about you. DJ even said something. And DJ DeLon and Scotty are not problematic people in the web reality space. So you think that you really gonna come for Scotty, and Scotty, who's been in this space for years, he don't have his questions. He ain't peep shit. Do not go messing with no country boy. Because Scotty kept it cool. He kept it real cute. But what you shown me, because even I watched before Oakland and I even had met, I watched what the TTB live with JT and you on there. And I'm like, everybody is not wrong. The problem is, mama, you delusional. And you don't know how to own your shit. Because we go from you filming for Chasing Reality, you get fired, and all of a sudden you're back. Why didn't you talk about that? Why didn't you talk about how Bryson already talked about how fucked up Nice Time was, but you still ended up living with him? I get it. When you need a place to stay, you need a place to stay. But if you know that that person has a reputation of doing some real wild fugazi stuff, keep your ass back in South Carolina. But again, to sit up there and say that nobody believed you, that's bullshit. And when you were consistently turning yourself into a victim, like, girl, nah, you gone. I'm good. That's all I got.
I don't really have much to say on that because most of what I could say, I've already said. If y'all saw that TTB live, y'all saw what I had to say in regards to JT. It just, it is frustrating to see her feel like no one believes her or didn't take her seriously when it comes to that. Because the one thing I will say is that at the time of all of that happening, or shortly after, when the scene was getting ready to roll out and like all of this stuff with Nighttime was going on, I was on the morning after at the time. And I specifically brought that to the show to talk about. And that wasn't even my segment. If anybody watched the morning after, one, thank you. Two, I was in charge of curating the conversation surrounding the reviews of television shows. T News blog covered all the tea and the gossip. And I thought that it was prudent enough to bring that up because it was a serious situation, and not only defended you publicly, but I also reached out to you behind the scenes to not only encourage you, but get a personal statement from you to read on camera so that you could be clearly heard, right? So it is frustrating because it becomes a pattern when you see people do the same shit and get the same results and play the same victim.
Insanity.
Right? Because like you said, everybody ain't wrong. And that's the reason why I kind of propped this whole question of, well, what are you doing all of this for? Like, if you claim you're just moving story, if you're just asking the questions, if you're just getting the job done, then why are you upset that you get crap about it when everybody ain't wrong? Like everybody ain't wrong. Like, if this is just for TV and this is just for doing all of this, then why did we have the interaction that we had? I ain't never filmed a scene with you.
So if this is just for TV, this is web reality. This is supposed to be reality. Okay. Then if you're talking about you're just doing all of this for TV, that means you are a fake ass bitch. You sat up here and said that you don't like being played with, but your behavior has shown that clearly that you are made by Mattel. And the only time you decide you want to get upset is when somebody pops your head off and it just squishes it back onto your neck.
That's so really what it is.
Don't play with me, okay, on that, because I don't play with stuff like that. That shit was serious, and it could have led to a fucking fatality, whether it was her or him.
And that's the real shit, because it's like, once again, people expect carte blanche to say whatever it is they want to people and then try to dictate or curate what the response should be to fit how they feel.
And she sat there on that reunion last night and kept trying to do that to Delon, and it drove me fucking nuts. She did that to Bando. That's why I'm like, I'm glad Bando just basically trolled her ass, because
it's disappointing. It's disappointing because I've already said this to her. Once again, on this TTB live where her and I went at it, or whatever the case may be, I said to her, if you were more concerned with the way that you start conversations, maybe you wouldn't be so pissed off at how they keep ending.
That's the same thing Scotty, Delon, DJ said to her last night. And
Everybody
for
can't be
clarity,
wrong.
for anyone who wants to know why I changed my name to Standalone Complex instead of Savage Virgo, because where I am today in the present, Savage is tame to who I am.
Period. When it comes to my bald-headed hoe shit, I want to talk to production. Not just one production. I want to talk to all y'all when it comes to the way that y'all put out these shows. Because y'all need to stop focusing on chasing and creating drama and actually produce a show worth following. Every last one of y'all. Because production quality matters to get the story across, whether it be visually, what we see, whether it be the audio, whether it be the story that y'all choose to develop when it comes to the characters. All of that plays a part in the show that we end up critiquing, following, watching, not watching, right? I need all of you to have a clear vision for what show you're trying to put out. What I need y'all to understand is that a good show is not based on how much drama you have. A good show is based on how well the story is told around the drama that is naturally bound to happen. Okay? People sign up to be on camera. People sign up to be on camera. So what that means is you give them the chance to either sink or swim. And 9 times out of 10, I guarantee you there's going to be at least 1 or 2 of them that's going to show up and show the fuck out because they want and need the camera time, and they're going to activate everybody else. Right? Most people aren't focused on being themselves when it comes to being on reality TV anymore. And that is a help and a hindrance when it comes to production. Most people are focused on trying to stand out, and they're trying to be who they have seen stand out in mainstream reality and then recreate that in web reality. Crash out shows especially tend to have this moment where the fights are why we're here, but they don't make sense if we don't give a fuck about the people who are fighting. So y'all take these shows and y'all put all this drama in the group chat. Y'all do all of this mess behind the scenes that we don't ever see on camera, and then y'all bring these people on camera and they start fighting, and we don't know what the fuck going on, and we can't follow them. And then on top of that, reunion hosts. Prepare to ask follow-up questions. I've said this at least 13 times tonight. I need y'all to have a personal perspective on the show and not just focus on what you think the fans want to see. Because I think what makes a qualified and good reunion host is the fact that they are invested in the show from a physical perspective as a fan, but they also care enough about the show as a viewer to want to know more about what we did or didn't see on camera. So they ask the questions that open the audience up to them even more. Right? They don't just hit the hot button points of what we've already seen on camera so that we can keep rehashing that same bullshit over and over and over again. The more you're engaged, the more engaged you are with the show as a fan, the more interesting the show is. Mm-hmm. Right? So for me, if you actually care about these people, if you actually care about the show itself, you're not just going to focus on the drama. You're not just going to focus on the hot button moments. You're not just going to focus on what everybody was talking about on social media. You're going to actually create a well-rounded presentation of everybody on this show and inform why these hot button moments happened in the first place. By the time we get to the reunion, we should be ready to fully understand why everything that we've been ranting and raving about on the internet happened in the first place, and gain some sort of conclusion to all the shit that we've been commenting on. We see the drama promoted all season on these shows. Every trailer, every clip, every reel that we see posted on these shows, it's always the most heightened moments of the show. Right? So why is it that we can never see the reunion host put the puzzle pieces around that to form the full picture? That is my question. Because a reunion should be about completing the story and filling in the gaps that couldn't be shown during production because we only have so much time during a show.
The internet exchanges and all that stuff, yeah.
All of that. Across the board, web reality needs to be more focused. Because in my eyes, the lack of mainstream awareness is not an excuse to be lazy.
And then also to piggyback off of that, growth. Some of y'all have been doing this for a decade and there's no growth. I am going to put chasing at the top because they are at the top. Because I remember the beginnings and look at where they are now. So my question is, for these other shows, what's the goal? What's the goal of a crash out show? Just to get your ass whooped? Because most of y'all can't fight. Most of y'all can't fight.
Most.
Real life and reality. What is the purpose? What's your goal? Because we see characters from real life and philanthropy over in real life and Bama, or real life and music, and then your cinematography, none of that has changed over time. So what is your goal?
And then on top of that, to piggyback off of your point, you see these rotating cast members on these shows, yet I still don't feel like I know who any of them are. I've seen Bryson B. Money on 2 or 3 shows, and I still feel like I don't know anything about him outside of the problematic shit. Same thing with Kwanzaa. I was excited to see her on Real Life Bama because I saw her on the other shows that she was on, and she even said right. And she even said she enjoyed being on this show more because she felt like she got to be herself, but we didn't get to know her any more than we did on any of the other shows. Right. So it's like, why are you doing all of these shows if you're not growing anywhere, or if you're not putting any real effort into creating stars or building mainstays of your net, or even building a flagship franchise? What is the flagship franchise of real life reality? What is the staple show? What is since Chasing Reality is the top, what is the Chasing Atlanta of real life reality? Oh, okay. That's really it. I think that across the board, web reality needs to be more focused. Mm-hmm. And because you don't have you don't have this mainstream awareness, for me, that's not an excuse to just bullshit it just because you're on YouTube. To me, that's even more of a motivation to put out the best product possible. But then I'm like, it's clear that y'all don't have a clear goal for these shows and that y'all are doing them just to be doing them. Because if y'all had a clear goal of a direction y'all wanted them to go on, then the vision would be so much more focused. Mm-hmm. And y'all are out here just doing it.
And in the 21st century, there are certain things I'm not watching on this 5K TV.
Go off.
I'm not going to do it. If your cinematography is shit, I'm not going to do it.
Fair
your
enough.
Storytelling is shit, nobody's going to do it. We watch movies and watch these shows for stories. You don't have a story, why I'm not wasting my time.
Facts. Final thoughts?
If this is reality, then keep it real or get the fuck off my screen. And
I agree.
As much as I love Jeremy Speaks TV, he was kind enough to give people a PSA. I don't owe you a kindness, so cope.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah. This has been the first episode of the Fourth Wall Live Web Reality Edition. Let us know what you thought about all the shows that we covered. I'm sure that our next shows won't be as long because there won't be as many shows to cover. But we just happened to start airing in a week where there were 3 reunions, 2 crash out shows, 6 bloody noses, and a partridge in a pear tree. So we picked the busiest goddamn news cycle in fucking web reality to start doing a live show. But with that being said, I appreciate you all for being here. Like the channel, like the videos, subscribe, hit the notification bell, do all of the things. We are on Instagram right now on the Bedford and Bomar channel. We are on my new Twitch. Under OJ Galloway. So follow me there too. All of my live content will now be airing on my Twitch account as well. Hopefully it actually went over there and it's streamed over there. If not, I'll figure it out for next week. But thank you so much, Standalone, for being here. I could not do this without you. Thank you for showing the world that I'm not just crazy. Like I'm just a Virgo. Like, I'm not just some wild banshee just bitching on the internet. I'm just a Virgo with an opinion.
Yeah, a person with an opinion. I mean, everybody has an opinion, you know what I'm saying? But if, these shows, honestly, if you want to get your views up, you want to get up your subscribers, bring it shit or get off the fucking pot. That's it.
Literally. And with that being said, we're getting ready to flush the toilet. Y'all have a great ass night. We will talk to y'all next week. We will be back every Thursday. And y'all misbehave yourselves. We will talk to y'all later.
I solemnly swear I'm up to no good.
Period. Okay. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
The fourth wall. I wanna see who's pulling the strings. Hey, show me the crack paint. Show me the rotten wings.